Hey, welcome to the Oh Grow Up podcast. We're going to start this by saying like, share, and subscribe, and comment.
It's important. People don't talk back to us enough.
No. Well, that and our fucking curve of doom. You people really check out early.
Yeah, what's your
30
problem?
seconds? Half of you are fucking gone? What
Is
the
that
fuck?
all you got? If it should take you longer than that to jerk off to my beautiful face.
Exactly.
You know what it is? It
You
might
jerk
be
off
that.
to the colors now.
All right. That's what it looks like. It looks like a fucking...
It does. This green right here looks like I really... And I did. I jerked off onto the wallpaper here.
You know what it reminds me of is like the Lucky Charms elf. Or what is it, an elf? No, it's not an elf. It's a
What?
stupid leprechaun.
Yeah, leprechaun.
I mean, a leprechaun should be an elf, really. Or a gnome.
Yeah, I'm not sure what they're going with that. Lucky Charms, Irish kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
I don't know.
supposed to be a leprechaun. But what is a leprechaun, really?
So if you drink enough, consistently
Yeah.
enough, eventually your brain has enough holes in it that you start seeing some wild shit.
Right.
And it rains all the time, so the rainbow, like, it all just ties together. you know?
Okay. So leprechauns come out when you're drunk. And
We're being racist to the Irish, and it's only been, what, a minute and 10 seconds in.
to be
so-
fair, they're not people. So
Yeah.
it's okay.
And I have red hair. That means I'm Irish, right?
Yeah, that's right. That's what it always means. Which means also you're deformed because you are
Soft teeth, I believe. Soft teeth and a small dick, I believe.
Is that what
the
it is?
Irish
Oh.
thing.
poor Irish, and that's why they beat their women.
Those
So-
soft teeth don't break off.
Anyway,
as
not to
easy.
offend the not to offend the whiskey drinking potato eaters.
Goddamn mix.
Oh my God, get it together, guys. To be fair, though, Irish, you're not a race. You're just a nation, a really poor one, and that's okay. That's what
Intellectually challenged, because then a fucking potato famine fucking
You know, I learned when I was in college. I learned
pissing
that,
off all the people.
that the potato famine actually wasn't a famine because if you look at what was going on during the time, the British were actually exporting more food from Ireland than they were importing it, and so they were intentionally starving the Irish because they didn't consider them people. Because
so now it's the Brits we're gonna hate on.
Listen-
Irish, you guys are off the block.
okay, look, let's be fair.
Goddamn English.
Every major problem in the world is because of the British.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying they had no solutions, but I mean, if you ever heard them talk, you kind of want to punch them in the face.
Hey, governor.
All right. Chim chim chiroo. That's why one of your leaders, Britain, said that he didn't commit sexual assault on Epstein's island because I had a rare disorder that didn't allow me to sweat until I got older.
Did you see the new leader? He's like some billionaire or some shit. He
Oh,
was
that's
trying to
pretty
show
helpful.
the advantages of contactless payment because of COVID.
Oh, yeah. of
So he
course.
goes up to like the plexiglass and he takes his fucking credit card, to pull out a
Yeah.
credit card, and he just puts it against the plexiglass. And they're like, sir, you got to put that down near the fucking reader.
Yeah, that's like George Bush trying to fucking buy milk and he couldn't figure out how to work the conveyor. You know, like that.
Ooh, I haven't seen that one.
Oh yeah, it was old school. Like
Old
his dad.
W.
But part one.
I miss W.
It was part one.
Remember when we all acted like he was the Antichrist?
Yeah.
Boy, I think most of the country would love to see W now.
I don't know.
Especially now he keeps tripping up and admitting that Iraq was a complete fucking
Oh yeah. No, but this was his daddy. His daddy was the one who didn't know how to
Oh.
use the register. So
oh,
they
his
had a-
daddy.
They had a video where they wanted him to like show the average American in how they use the registers, and he didn't know how to swipe bread. So everybody made fun of him, bread or milk, whatever it was.
Wow.
And
But
so
that's what happens when you have oil money.
yeah,
Is
yeah.
you don't have to deal
See,
with
that's the weird part,
peasantries like that.
right? That's the weird thing too. Is like, why would you do that as a sign of the like? Just be a billionaire, bro. Everybody wants to be a billionaire.
Are they billions? The
Well,
Bush family?
Well,
The Bush dynasty?
let's put it this way: with all the things they didn't have to pay for, probably.
Especially when you invade stuff.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that.
Awfully political.
Whenever you
there.
set up your new world order,
Bush family
money, net worth. Look, they already knew because
Yeah.
they listened to us.
Yeah, 400 mil.
Right, 400 million.
Because they did own oil in Texas, but I don't
That's
think
true.
they were the big dicks on the block.
Yeah, I mean, well, kind of being a president is
400 mil.
400 million.
Could you imagine what this podcast would do? Oh, do you play your lottery tickets? That's another big thing.
I
that
did.
is
I
right now.
lost.
I think Mega Millions is now about to be over $1 billion.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy one of those. See, I have this rule for myself that came from the wisdom of my mom, which is, do your back then it was if it crossed 300 million, then you buy a ticket.
My threshold's 2.
Right. And her thing was, if you buy a ticket every once in a while, that's having faith.
No.
But if you buy one every week, then you have a gambling problem.
Yeah.
was like, that's fair.
It was wild. I was at a Taco Bell, did like the walk-in, so I had like FaceTime with the guy, and
Yeah.
wasn't very social. Like there's days where I'm just like, nope, just give me what I fucking need. I'm not gonna open conversation.
Right.
So being all antisocial, staring at my phone and my wallet in front of me. The guy's like, "Oh, did you play the lottery?" I'm like, "Oh, I guess we're starting this conversation."
Here we go.
And he pulls out his lottery ticket,
Yeah.
and he's got all 5 lines. I'm like, "Wow, that's what, $10 sitting
Yeah.
right there on that one piece of paper?"
Right.
No. If you historically look at the huge winners, it's always one ticket.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
That's all you need.
Well, that's because there's this misnomer where if
It's
you
like a $350 million to 1 chance.
yeah,
too.
and
You're
everybody
just
thinks that
blowing
if
money
you
at
buy
$10.
more numbers, you have a better chance, but you really don't. It's still the same.
You're probably
statistically.
changing statistics by like 0.000001.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not into math, but I do know losers when I'm at Taco Bell.
I had a coworker tell me, he's like, lottery tickets are for idiots that don't understand basic statistics. I'm like, no, it's for people that have lofty dreams.
Yeah.
You know what I would do with $1 billion fucking dollars?
You know what I would do with $10 million?
Trying to think, what would paying off this house? So $500,000 would
yeah.
be fine.
Right.
Yeah, be on fucking. There's what, $2,500. I don't have
but
to worry
then
about a
Then you
month.
still have to pay the taxes. You know. So you need, like, I would like to have enough to where I wouldn't have to legitimately be
Well, if you gave me $1
concerned.
million even, that'd pull me down to $500,000. I
Right.
could still pay off my mortgage.
That's true.
I'd be happy. God, if I could just get my mortgage off my fucking plate.
Ugh, I had that dream. I had that once, and then
Don't you
I
own like 3 or
moved.
4 properties now?
We're not going to talk about that. Let's not talk about.
What's your social? What's your pen?
Right. You're like, oh, you're so. Yeah, I had someone once. They were like, oh, you're rich, and I was like, no, the bank is rich. They just believe that they believe that I'll pay them. That's the
think
difference.
Justin, somebody came downstairs, brand new,
Mhm.
studio's brand new, and he's like, "Oh man, you are rich." I'm like, "Oh no, I'm paying this month to
Right.
month,
No.
living month to month."
Yeah. Well, and that's the funny part is
If I
like,
wreck my car, we might lose the house.
yeah, and see, this is the thing that most people don't understand. We talk about how many homeowners there are, but really, there's like 4, and those are called the banks. And the
Yeah.
banks really own the home because the
and
most.
we should eat them.
Yeah, I agree. Those people, they cause inflation, and it's all their fault. But the reality is that they own the homes, and they just believe we'll pay them back. And the funny part is that the vast majority of people don't.
If we're going to get rid of college debt for all these people,
Ugh.
give me some of that mortgage relief.
See, that's what pissed me off too, because what I didn't like with the whole college debt thing, and I agree that there are some
That's
things.
still in the courts, if I remember
Yeah,
correctly,
they're
too.
going to lose because they're not going to. You signed a contract to pay some shit off, and you can't just go, oh well, I didn't get it back. No, bro.
Oh, no, it's the federal government step in. Be like, oh.
Yeah, well, they didn't step in to fucking pay my mortgage. What they did was they gave all the money to the banks during the crash, and then I
Isn't
still
that
had to
some
pay
shit?
the banks back.
Was it
Uh,
Obama was almost $1 trillion? 800 billion or something?
$800 billion.
And they showed most of that money went into rebuying stocks
Yeah.
and shoving that into the CEO's
Look,
fucking pockets.
I'm going to tell you something now that the statute
Eat
of
the
limitations
rich.
passed. so whenever they were taking back my house that I was living in.
Oh, you lost the house during
yeah, it was good.
the mortgage crisis?
Yeah. Well, what happened is there was.
It was good.
Yeah, it was good. Well, what I ended up doing is I discovered that you don't have to answer phone calls, and as long as you're corresponding through mail, that's considered legal, legitimate correspondence. So I did everything by mail, and sometimes I would lose the letter, and then I would have them send it back to me. So I lived in this house for 2 years without paying anything because it took them so long to get it. And they
Dude,
would,
your credit score had to have been dog shit after that.
no, because they have to settle it first, right? So you still owe the money, but you have to go through all that before. And then you have what ends up happening is when they sell your property, right? You'll take a hit on your credit for sure. But what ends up happening
You're
is
probably talking triple digit hit.
there's debt settlement,
Okay.
right, that occurs. And so when they sell your property, the debt is what you owe or you bankrupt it. So you put it into an LLC, allegedly. By the way, first disclaimer, here at the O Grow Up podcast, half of what we say is made up, and the other half we don't believe. So it's up to you to determine which is which.
I get a disclaimer. It's going to be in one of our clips here a little bit, but
Yeah.
here's my disclaimer. That's probably going to go forward.
I'm not here to tell you to do anything illegal. I don't want you to do anything illegal. I don't want you doing anything you don't feel comfortable doing.
So, very similar to that guy. I'll say that to you, but I'll also wink. Don't do illegal stuff.
Eat the rich.
Right. But yeah, so there's what pissed me off so much, and the reason why, because usually I'm very, very ethical. But what ended up happening is they sold our HSBC got hundreds of millions of dollars to pay the difference, right, of the mortgages. But I still had to pay my mortgage. So I was like, well, you got the money that I owed you, motherfucker. So why am I paying you twice? If the government bailed you out, and this is the weird part, is I wasn't paying the government back. Well, eat the government. Eat the government.
I mean, they're one and the same.
Allegedly. That's fair. It's a fair assessment.
How many poor people do you see? Although AOC, I think she's still holding down like 2 jobs.
Okay, OnlyFans isn't a job. We've gone over this. And
But she's still like doing a side hustle.
The sad part about her,
paying the bills.
That's because she's retarded. The thing about AOC is every once in a while she'll say something and I'm like, ooh, that's smart. And then she keeps talking. I'm like, oh, well, now you're just the wacky, waving, inflatable tube bomb girl. Get it together, AOC. You suck. Actually, if she sucked more, she'd probably have more money. And then she wouldn't need to work a side hustle.
She looks good.
I know,
See
and
her,
that's the only reason.
The business
And
suits.
see, that's the thing is, that's the only reason she got that far. Because I guarantee you, if she
She worked her ass off.
No.
Those photos. She went door to door and shit.
Correct,
like, motherfucker.
But the only reason people pay attention to her is because she's attractive. It's not like she's saying new things or has these great, brilliant ideas that's going to change the world. It's literally, oh, there's this hot chick that I would want to blow my load in, and so I'm going to pretend to be interested in what she has to say. And sadly,
they can't see this, but Jesus
she's hot,
Christ.
right. That's what I'm saying. Agreed. I'm not going to take that away from her. You know what I mean? Like her dad had good semen, you know, and it made a beautiful face baby. And now she's grown up to be annoying, and that's fair.
I hope my kids grow up to at least look decent.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want ugly kids. It makes for a hard life.
We want ugly daughters. You don't want ugly.
You don't. You want ugly daughters. Then
Yeah. When I
how
had
can
my
I get
first
2
kid,
goats for an ugly daughter? You know.
Yeah. My first kid, one of my coworkers, he's like, when you have a boy, you only have one dick to worry about.
Right.
When you have a girl, you have every dick in the world to worry
All
about.
the dicks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And yeah, there's a lot of worry.
That's a thinker, isn't it? You're like,
Well, no,
fuck.
it's true because everybody likes to talk about the equality, and I think there's equal opportunity should always be there, but we have very different concerns, right? Like women have to worry about being pregnant, and then being with a child typically throughout their entire life. A lot of dudes can just shoot out, and so they don't have to do that because most people aren't moral people. As you can tell by us discussing beating up the Irish earlier. It was funny. I was having a conversation with my kid, and we were talking about allegedly sneaking candy into a theater. And I said,
I'm not here to tell you to do anything illegal. I don't.
yeah. And so, but during the conversation, I was like, well, it's stealing, right? And we started to go over that. I was
How
like,
is it stealing?
well, because what's
You're
going on
bringing
is-
your own property in.
Right, you are, but you're bringing your own property into the property of someone else's. That's how they make money, and then they have those rules set up. So you're violating your agreement when you go. So maybe it's
think
fraud.
By the letter, I don't think that's stealing.
I agree.
It's
Yeah, okay. So it's fraud, or it's a contract violation. It's a social contract violation.
I wish I didn't have a lawyer like currently on the
Bro,
books.
yeah.
I wish I knew a lawyer. Well, I do know a paralegal. She works in a law office, but we're not really on speaking terms right now.
Oh, well, I'll call her.
Be like, hey, can you talk to your lawyer
Yeah,
and
you
ask
tell me, yeah.
what?
Is this illegal? Because they can ask you to leave. But basically, I was talking about the ethics.
I
of
think
it.
that's where they can get you.
Yeah.
Is
they can make you leave.
they at any point they can ask on private property for you to leave.
Right.
I think that's what it would be.
And
It'd be basically trespassing.
Yeah, and we were talking about the ethical ramifications of it. And I was just like, well, it sucks because they'll
But
charge
so if I come in with a
$14
full stomach,
Right.
never brought food onto the property, you're still bypassing that income there.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between me ingesting someone else's food on someone else's property
Right, and then
and
going
ingesting someone else's food on your property?
That's what I said to prostitutes. Like, hey, if I already paid her to go out to dinner with me, why do I need to pay you?
Yeah.
It's there's some wishy-washy areas there. But basically at the end of the conversation, I just had to tell my kids, look, I've never said that I was a good person. I'm an honest person, and that's different. And not all honest people are good people.
No, not all honest people are good people.
It's true. Yeah. because I'll honestly do something bad sometimes.
Yeah.
And I understand it. Like, you know,
Well, if you're an honest asshole,
yeah, well, people don't have to like the honest person. That's real.
I don't know.
That was
trying to
what
think of
John
anyone
Lennon
that would-
said that, right? He said,
Apparently, he was an asshole father.
Yeah, well,
His kid was saying that he used to beat the shit out of him.
He did allow his wife to ruin the Beatles
And music in general.
and music in general.
Have you seen the interpretive art she's done recently? She just screams into a mic.
I know.
Just walks up.
She has an album with it. And you know what the saddest part is? Watching that, I really understood spousal abuse at that point. You know, like, I don't want to be hateful, but she kind of deserved it. You know what I mean? It's kind of like what Chris Rock said. You should never hit a woman, but you should shake the shit out of her. And I think that maybe if she would have been shook a little bit, she would have not asked for a plum and a hat full of perfume.
We're doing audio only for this, but people, we are not exaggerating when I'm saying this chick is screaming
Wait,
into
wait,
a mic and selling the shit.
Hold on. This will be my favorite thing. I am curious because we're going to do this. I want to find out if we're going to get a copyright strike. Like,
Just audio only?
If they could recognize.
Especially with this
If they
shitty...
could recognize. Because it just sounds like when you hear this, it sounds like two dolphins fucking.
Some of it's orgasmic, some of it's pain, some of
Right.
it's just
It's almost like
completely made up.
two dolphins fucking in a room full of handicapped people at a grade school.
Jesus Christ.
You'll see. It sounds bad, but I'm not the one doing it. Dolphins.
Yeah, there's some dolphin fucking in there. That was worse than I remembered. I remember it being bad. I don't remember it being that bad.
This is the
And
thing.
this podcast is sitting at 114 subscribers.
Right, and that.
And she's out there. She had to have made $1 million fucking doing that.
Wow, whenever you fuck a rich man,
Truth.
that can happen.
So we just need to fuck rich people.
Yes, out of their money. I'm
Which
okay with
rich
that.
person shall I fuck?
Anyone who owns a bank. I'm coming for you, bankers.
Bankers are pretty ugly.
Well, you don't have to be attractive when you got a lot of money.
I'm trying to think what a famous person I would fuck.
What famous person you would fuck?
Yeah. For their money, specifically.
Oh, for their money? Jennifer Aniston?
She's well out of my league, man. Yeah, sure.
She's not out of your league. She's an actress.
The most popular actress since, like, what, 98? When did Friends start peaking?
I'd just be nervous because she banged Brad Pitt and he's like ripped and shredded. And I look like a potato.
I think she has enough time to get off the ripped and shredded
Well,
vag.
yes, and I have a wonderful personality, so that goes real far.
Oh, speaking of ripped vag, that actually is a pretty good segue into our video that we forgot to bring up last week.
Oh my God, I don't like when we forget things.
Yeah. Hold on a second. Let me get us set up. Again, we need a goddamn producer.
It's okay. If you're a producer out there and you've made it past 30 seconds of what we're saying, we would certainly like to have you on board.
Yes, absolutely. Hold on. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Who the fuck?
Get it together.
Boy, we were off for what, 2 weeks? We were off last week?
Last week. Just one
And
week.
I'm already forgetting the skill set.
It's okay. It's fine.
All right, cool. Here
Let's
we
do
go.
it.
All
Here
right,
we go.
ripped vag, right?
So you might cry because you can't have my cock, ladies. I'm sorry. You may fucking hate me for it. Been hated for it more than once. I am the fucking one that fucks you hard. Wicked. Tears them twat lips to pieces.
Twat lips. I don't know if I've ever used that word.
The word, the twat.
Twat.
My favorite word is hippotwatamus.
Twat. To me, the use of the word twat is almost the English interpretation. To be a twat is to be a moron.
Yeah. Is it?
Yeah.
Huh. What's it?
What a twat.
Yeah. I hope.
Very rare that I use that.
I would like to bring the word twat back. Can
Yeah.
we do a hashtag twat?
Oh, I know it. A twat, did you say?
Yeah, twat.
Yeah.
Twat. I can't hear you.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
exactly.
Twat, did you say? I can't hear you. Come again. Come again.
The tag team of vag words.
Yeah.
Twat, did you say?
Yeah.
I can't hear you.
I like the term ninja boot.
Ninja boot?
Yeah, for a vagina.
Ninja boot. Where the fuck did that come from?
Have you ever seen a ninja boot?
Oh, you're talking about the camel toe looking
Yeah,
thing?
there you
Yeah,
go.
That's weird.
Camel toe. That's so offensive to women. I mean, guys don't care. So you can call our thing anything you want, you know. Sausage
Moose
rocket.
knuckle, I believe, is what they say for the camel toe. It's like
So-
the same.
Yeah, so moose knuckles like the guy's Foompa, right?
Yeah. Fupa. God.
Yeah. Is it Foom or
You
Fup?
could see that, this year's not been kind to me. It's growing this shit again, yeah.
Oh.
But if I ever grow fat upper pussy area,
Yeah.
kill me.
Well, I'm just curious how you got your pussy.
That's the second request I've asked you to either kill me or hit me. 'Cause I said if I ever consider having a serious relationship ever again, punch me in the fucking head.
What I'll do is I'll just pretend you're Irish and I'll starve you to death.
So if you see me with a significant other or fat enough to have a fupa,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just take you out.
I think punch me if I'm looking for a significant other, because it'd be like, okay, I'll call it off.
Yeah.
Fupa, that's a lot of work.
You got
Because this is already going to be a lot of work to get rid of.
Yeah.
I
mean,
couldn't imagine the work to get rid of fupa.
I think that's where people mistake obesity. Like, it takes effort to get there. And that's the problem I have with people who are like, you don't know how hard it is. Like, it's really hard to get that big too, bro. Like, you got to really work at it.
Well, the thing is, too, when you get that big, you're really destroying your joints.
Yeah,
So
everything.
you've compromised. That would have been difficult with good joints.
Right.
But now you have extra miles on these joints.
The structural integrity of the building is collapsing.
Have you seen that DDP yoga, though?
DDP. Oh, yeah.
Like, the fact that he's doing all that shit
Right.
without, like, high stress, that's
Yeah.
how you get around that.
Yeah.
But the cardio still is a lot.
What's sad to me is that there isn't a reward system for those people who are morbidly obese and they lose all the weight and they have the skin and then
fucking vagina
yeah,
neck.
yeah, and insurance won't cover it, right? Because they consider it elective. And I'm just like, you know what though? If they work that hard, that should just be like a reward. Like, hey, yo, you did that.
What's weird is I've heard in the military
Mhm.
that if you approach some things through the mental health
Yeah.
side of things, you can actually get stuff done.
Right.
Because breast implants are considered elective, right?
Yeah.
If you go to a mental health professional in the military,
Right.
you can actually get them to pay for it.
Yeah.
I wonder if you can do the same thing with your fucking flabby.
They might look at you and be like, you can suffocate someone with those, and that's a weapon. So we need you to
it's
keep
a
that.
safety issue.
We need you, right? We need you to take that flap and cover your enemy's face with it.
It is weird too. Is you'll see chicks in public like, wow, she's she looks all right, but then she throws up that arm. You just have that whole fucking
Yeah. You've got that winged
That
squirrel,
sail.
the flying squirrel. Yeah.
like, ooh, there we
And
go.
I support the flying squirrel, ladies. That means you've worked hard. Men too. Yeah. Hashtag men too.
Let's get back to our bullshit here.
Let's go back to chode smoker. I mean, fed smoker.
Hey, it is
He's
Peterson Connell.
Again, I really think that we need a religion based off of this guy.
I think so too. Boom.
Let's do fed smoker. Let's see it.
Boom.
Love your and still, dude, talking through gritted
Red.
teeth.
Yeah.
I'm the kind of guy that fucks you hard, ladies. It's okay.
You a hard fucker? You a passionate, slow fucker?
It just kind of depends.
And would you brag about it if you were either way?
No.
want to fuck you
I am fucking one that fucks you hard.
Yeah.
See, I don't think any woman that's worth anything would see that and go, well, that's what I need.
Who's this Peterson Connell? Do we have his number?
Right.
That's like you don't see too many women doing this. Like this is kind of like a dime a dozen on the men's side of things.
Yeah. I mean, that's meth confidence. You know what I mean? So I understand.
We
it.
should send this to Liberty and be like, would you? for the right price?
Right, for the right price.
Because there is a safety level to this too. This
Oh,
is,
yeah.
Is
Yeah.
this meth? Is this
That's the kind of dude that
sexual
eat
frustration?
your face. You know, like that's the Florida guy. He's a face-eating meth addict who'll fuck you hard on your twat lips.
And it's not really the fucking on that I'm worried about.
Mhm.
It's the choking. Because
Oh, yeah.
when this guy, he starts going, if he goes for that fucking throat, man.
Yeah, he's probably got
that's-
really strong hands.
You got to have a safety word with old Peterson Connell here.
Wicked. Tears them twat lips to pieces. Red and ravish. Fucking crazy shit. I am Father Cock, bitches. You must.
Wait, pause that. I am Father Cock.
Bitches.
Bitches.
Do bitches like being called bitches?
I don't know. I mean, but really, by
Or
that,
do bitches be tripping?
bitches do
being
be
called
tripping.
bitches?
And I mean, I've actually known more dude bitches than chick bitches. So it's weird. Maybe
Because you haven't been through a divorce yet. No.
Yeah. Hey, ladies, tell us, do you like being called bitches? We need to know.
I think in the heat of the moment, probably.
Maybe.
Like, yeah, take it, bitch. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, lying father cock, bitch. Okay, so if we're pounding it out and I yell, I'm father cock, bitch, do you forgive me? That's the question.
For some reason, I didn't pull that audio.
I'm
I
father
got
cock.
actually, hold up.
I am father cock, bitches.
I did
See,
pull
that's
it.
great.
All
See,
right.
it's almost like, is
That's
it
going to the main board.
because when you hear him say I am father, it's like time, Christmas. Which father are you? And then
I am father cock, bitches.
right. And see, that sounds like we're swearing, but he could just be talking about he's the father of chickens.
Bitches are female dogs.
Yes, he's
Have I explained? I think we did. Talked about how my mom uses like very scientific words.
Yes, yeah.
Bitches is one that throws me off.
Yeah.
Sometime last year, I think I was I was on that trip,
Right.
and yeah, she's like, yeah, my friend, she has a bitch. I'm like, what? Or no, it made it even more. She's like, my friend has a dog. The dog is a bitch,
Right.
and like. Something in my central nervous system is like,
Yeah, well, I feel that way when I hear twat lips.
yeah.
So,
phalange blast.
phalange
120 or less. You must be solid-minded. You must be fucking sexy.
That's rich from him. He must be solid minded.
I know. At first, I thought he was talking about like solidly built, and then he said minded, and I was like, "But you just called yourself father cock."
120 pounds solidly built the way you're talking.
Yeah.
That's
Hot.
a ripped chick.
Yeah. Well, it depends. I mean, if she's 6'2", no, she's just emaciated.
Yeah.
It's like
Eat something.
right. It's like banging an Ethiopian.
Yeah, 5 foot. You should be around 100 to 120,
Yeah,
and you'd be like
5'2",
average.
maybe.
Actually, yeah, 120 pounds at 5 foot. I think you'd be
a little bit heavy. You got to be
Yeah.
like 5'3", maybe
Yeah.
5'4".
only she's 5'3".
Right.
Baby got back.
Right. Baby
You
God.
must be dressed fucking sweet. I'm not gonna go for it unless you're not. Sorry. I strive for fucking perfection.
What's up with the cards here?
Holy shit! I didn't even notice that. It's all aces.
You got cards. Looks like a USB cable here.
Jesus
I
Christ.
think we saw a video said he had 6 or 8 cameras on at all times.
Yeah. This guy.
Sorry.
Is just a gem, isn't he? Sorry.
Sorry.
Sorry, that's just perfection. You must be under 120 pounds for starters, period.
Under.
You were over 120 pounds. You were drunk on top of that. I just suck on my cock a little bit just because I'm a good sport.
He's a good sport. He lets you suck on his cock.
I like that he says, I'll let you, because we both know that he's forcing whoever's doing that. We both know he's either choking him out, or he's using his CIAA or CII.
I just suck on my cock a little bit just because I'm a good sport.
See?
I don't have the CIAA agent
What
shit.
sport is that? That's
I'm a good sport.
I just, what this tells me is that we all deserve to have standards. And, there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, like, bitches have standards. Why can't,
And they be tripping.
and they be tripping. Why can't Peter Connolly have it?
That one's off her cookie.
This
Well,
guy's a fucking gem.
yeah. Jesus Christ.
I am an elite fucking force. Look at this neck.
Your neck. You flex your neck to show your sexual prowess.
I like that he flexed his neck like he's a fucking bird attached, like trying to bang another bird. But then you can see the saggy man boob hanging to the left.
Ooh.
See that? He's almost got like the swoop cup.
Swoop cup.
You know what I mean? Like the swoop boob.
Hold up.
You know what I'm talking about. Madonna's got swoop boobs. I know that's not a medical term, but we can make it one. Yeah, it's the
Then
ones
she had
that
the
are,
cones.
yeah, well, no, those are fake. But she had the
I am an elite
Where do you see it?
fucking force.
right
Look at
there.
this
Look,
neck.
see, you can see his little nipple and it's
It's got a
pointing
nice little
up.
cleavage right here.
Right, see? He's got like a homemade tattoo.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, see what I mean?
That's like what, 40s, 50s
That's a 40s, 50s neck.
guy. The body right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sizable nipples too.
Pepperonis, bro. Little Hormels. You think he did that?
What was that?
I like that was his posturing to attract chicks. You know what I mean? Look at my neck. All right, any guys or girls, if you're out there, does Netflixing turn you on? You know?
Tweak must be good this week, huh? I do not want to get on somebody that's not fucking solid. At least fairly solid.
Oh, like he's changing it already.
My shoulders, I don't want to fucking hurt my shoulders fucking you bitches anymore. Give you such high repetitious poundings. It fucks me up. Not lately since I got rid of Boogie. That motherfucker was tearing my arms out of the socket. I'm done.
Who's Boogie?
You must
Was that
be.
his dog?
I think so.
So think about that.
How did he get rid of the
I had to
dog?
get rid of the dog because it was hurting my shoulders from all that. What was the pounding called again? Rigorous pounding?
We got it. Hold up.
Yeah.
High repetitious poundings.
High repetitious poundings. That's why I had to get rid of Boogie. See how that works?
Priorities, man.
Right, yeah.
Pussy over dog.
Like I kept fucking this dog and then my shoulder blew out. So I had to go back to my double CI.
Because of mine.
High repetitious poundings.
Right. See? Disgusting. This guy, you need therapy. Oh, wait, he's dead.
That's right.
Mm.
Rest in peace.
Well, he'll come back from the dead in 3 meth blows or something. I don't know. It's
You ever read Frankenstein?
yes, I love that book.
Yeah, that's a long read, though.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde is also another good one too.
I bet you that one's fucking...
Small. It's
Is
very
it?
tiny. Yeah, yeah. It's like
Well, the thing
than 200
with
pages.
Frankenstein is the writer, I believe it's a female,
Yeah.
wants to show such a contrast from how good life was
Right.
to how shit it was now. She spends so much fucking time painting a picture of how beautiful it is.
right.
And then she's like, oh, yeah, and then Frankenstein, like, fucking...
Yeah, the monster comes out. And
The
then
it is the monster. 'Cause
monster.
Frankenstein is the
the
doctor.
He's the doctor.
Doctor.
Dr. Frankenstein.
Is that a Jewish name?
Frankenstein. I believe Gene Wilder showed us that it is.
It's Frankenstein.
Yeah, perfect.
Fucking strikingly beautiful all the time. Every
How is that screen in one piece? Because I thought it was shattered for a sec. I'm going to realize he still has a...
I just love that you could see the reflection of his face sometimes in it, and it's just really disturbing.
I bet you... So if you look at June 15th
Mhm.
on a Friday, I bet you can figure out what year this is.
All right, so here's my question. You were saying that none of these are on like one channel.
Yeah, they're just...
So is he like just did he or did one of his followers, you know, like one of his apostles, load them all on different ones because this is the word. You know what I mean? So like this is the word of meth god, and we need to create a legacy of meth lord, and
Meth lord.
yeah, meth lord, the lord of meth. And then what we can do is in that legacy we can pile it. So this is basically like the Nag Hammadi library, right? Because when you stop and think about it, you said it's just random on YouTube, so there's no rhyme or reason. You just stumble upon one.
My understanding is before somebody actually collected it,
Mm-hmm.
it was whatever... No, my son wants to talk to me. FaceTime and shit. That's the audio here going back and forth right now. So you know when digital cameras, because he actually records from a camera.
Yeah,
These
yeah.
are not phoned. Like
Yeah, you
it
can see it's a
gives the-
GoPro. He's got a little.
yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever that digital file is, you just upload that. But because he's on the methamphetamines,
Mhm.
he wants to make sure that nobody's tracking him. So somebody had to go through. It had to have been a long fucking time, because some of those like digital, pre-made things are just random letters
Right,
for
right.
like 25 characters.
Yeah, like
so-
OVA.173.
Exactly.
Man.
180 videos. So there's a stamp in the bottom right. It's a
Okay.
Samantha Addict. That's not where I found it. It's actually somebody else, because people keep ripping and ripping and ripping
Right.
and ripping. So
Samantha Addict. Is
Yeah.
that maybe that's who he was talking to? Maybe that's
maybe that's the lover.
that's the one he was talking about, the repetitious pounding. Or Samantha. He was
high repetitious poundings.
High repetition.
right, high repetition. So maybe Samantha was addicted to that cock, to father cock. Sorry.
It is so weird though how chicks are like they want to be sore afterwards, but then there's the high repetitious pounding. Is like, I don't know, is that something?
It's a lot of friction.
Is that your selling point? Like, because then they're like, great, now I'm gonna be sore at work, like all that shit. Like,
Well, and the thing is, he doesn't say anything. The good part, and again,
about her satisfaction.
Well, that's obvious.
It's very
But
self-centered.
think about it. He's very tender, right? Because he's not talking about his girth or his length. He's just like, I can move the ocean. I'm talking
Just
about
pound.
he's the motion of the ocean is what he's focused on. So that's a lover. That's a good lover.
Well, he's also a lover because
I just suck on my cock a little bit just because I'm a good sport.
Yeah.
what I want to do is take all of the audio, transcribe that onto a Tinder profile, and see how many
Please
chicks-
do that. Can we please do that and then read the responses?
Absolutely.
Because we need that.
screenshots of it, really close up, uncomfortable selfies,
Right.
and then just like, yeah, I'm looking for.
High repetitious poundings.
Right.
I am Father Cock, bitches.
Ooh, that'll look good on a Tinder profile.
Oh yeah, I'm Father Cock, bitches. I'm here for the high repetitious pounding. What could be some of the other things? Dude, let's create a Tinder profile, and then on an episode we'll post
I
what that
love
Tinder
that.
profile
I
is.
strive for fucking perfection.
Right. That's how it should start. That's how it should start.
I strive for
Because
perfection.
because the thing is, that sounds like like a person who's really striving to be a wonderful person.
And you just start saying,
High repetitious poundings.
I strive for perfection. I like meth. I like high repetitious pounding. I got rid of my dog because pounding it hurt my shoulder. I'll let you suck my cock because I'm a good sport.
oh, there it is.
Retired CI double agent.
There we go. I found the audio.
Retired CI double agent. That's got to be his job. That's the job. We put that in the Tinder.
Oh, his
profile.
occupation.
Yeah, his occupation is a
Dude, this profile's writing itself.
yeah. Chat GPT for the win, yo. We could do that. We could. Okay, so let's do this. Let's create. How much does a Tinder profile cost? Anything? I don't know.
So, going in for free, but you can only swipe 50 to 75 times, which is really quick,
That's a
actually.
lot.
It's not. It's really not.
Well, I
Well,
mean-
my ratio sucks.
Yeah.
Because I could literally sit there and is actually how I found my second ex-wife.
Oh.
So what I hate about Tinder is you look at these people, you
Mhm.
go, God damn, she's beautiful. You read shit, and you're like, fuck, man, she seems like really fucking cool. All right, I'm gonna send this,
Right.
and then in a couple days realize like, oh, that chick had no interest in me.
Yeah.
So
Or maybe
between
she's going
my
through.
divorces,
She's going through the field of cock that's coming through her email.
and that's the thing.
Yeah.
So my ex-wife, because her and I now are talking about the fucking the apps there, she has like 5,000 messages in the inbox.
Right.
Ol' MD here maybe gets a message. Well, you met the I brought her to the
Yeah.
Halloween thing. That is one of 3 people because I've
Yeah.
been on the dating site since September.
Yeah.
3 people I've met in person.
Okay, so is Tinder for relationships or is it for fucking?
Just depends on because you can also lay that out too, short term, long term, all that stuff. So what I did though to meet my second ex-wife is I just sat there, watched TV,
Oh,
not even looking at these profiles because eventually the 50 or 75 run out and they're like, hey, you got 12 hours on the bench, you can't swipe anymore. So I just put my phone away and watched the TV. The second
12
line
hours?
of that, yeah. So what it would do though is whoever matches, then you start paying attention. Like, ugh, a person matched with me? Fuck no. Like, because once you match, you can still say not for me.
Okay.
So my second ex-wife and I were like, oh, cool. Like, stuff started going on. When I explained that to her though, she took it very personally. I'm like, look, my ratio of success was sucked, man, because there's
Yeah.
really beautiful people out there.
Right.
But you're just like, oh man, she likes the same shit as me. She
Yeah.
likes podcasting. She likes stand-up comedy. Da 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 da. And then they never, and that eats at you.
Right.
Like, why is it I've swiped through? Because if you pay $15 a month, you have infinite fucking like swipes.
So it's basically like a whorehouse. Like
Kind
you pay to go. It's like the Bunny Ranch for
I wonder if I have
phones.
my Tinder shit up.
We need to. I'm uneducated and Tindered because I'm a happily married man. So I don't have to go through Tinder because I don't understand
So you go.
technology
or
or how it works, and it just seems weird.
So you can look through the
Okay,
pictures.
she's cute. She's cute.
Yeah, she's
she's
a
cute.
fucking
Oh, look at
hottie,
the
like.
single moms. Jesus, ladies.
Oh, you.
I know that's Tinder.
So you got the name,
Right.
the age,
Okay.
what she does, how close she is. That's a rough estimate. There.
Right. Yeah. They don't tell you like down the street on.
Yeah, it's not gonna say the actual address. About me, you can leave that blank. You can
Right.
put your entire goddamn life story in there. That's
Right.
what Peterson Connell's information. That's what that's
Yeah,
gonna be.
that's got to be that.
Basics, astrology, ladies. Nobody gives a fuck.
Oh my God.
This chick's a Cancer to society, but
Yeah,
she's also a Cancer astrology.
Of course. Single mom, right? Here we go.
Lifestyle, you could say you like dogs, non-smoker, all that stuff.
Right.
So what you would do is if I like her, I would swipe to the right where it hit that green right there.
Right. And you just did.
But that's what I'm saying. Look how goddamn gorgeous this chick
Angelica
is.
with her fake ass.
Yeah.
Angelica.
I don't care if it's fake as long as I can touch the shit.
I'm just saying.
But yeah, see, it says looking for long term.
Oh.
I would hit.
You're not looking for long term when you do that.
It just depends what the other person. Because what you do is you start that conversation.
Yeah. Hey, why are you dressing like a whore and then saying I want a long term
She's
relationship?
not dressing like a whore.
She's posing like a whore.
I mean, just because you have a big ass doesn't mean you're a whore.
But it does whenever that's all
And
you
hey,
show.
that big ass.
It's high repetitious poundings.
She can take that. She can take it.
But yeah, that's so you can go for free and swipe 50 to, I think it's like 50 to 75.
See, this is the weird thing though with
I like Facebook's a little bit more though.
like the dating circuit. I'm so glad I'm not in this game anymore. But it seems
It
weird
sucks,
to me that
especially at 36.
that, and I guess it makes sense because that she was like 23, so she's not like wise to the world. But it seems very strange to me that you're like, I want to find a person who's going to love me for my personality and who I am. Also, let me just show you my ass first right off the bat.
Well, you gotta put a little fucking bait on the hook there, bro.
Yeah, but
Can't just be like your fucking DMV picture.
right,
Like,
but you can't go fishing for sharks and get, you know what I mean, and then get mad when you catch one, and that's what that is, right? Like you've got to have the right bait.
but I bet you that profile, she probably opens up Tinder and just fucking
Yeah.
explodes with.
Of
Because that's
course.
the thing is,
and that's how you. That's the reason why they have so much difficulty finding people that are reliable. you know?
See, this person,
Uh-huh.
I've been matched with her. You've met this person.
Okay.
I still have because that was actually a funny conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I only have one conversation. Here's the thing: is they link up,
Right.
and then it's all right. Who blinks first?
Okay. Here's a question: Can the people who were with you before link up with the other people to talk shit about you?
And that's what I like about Facebook.
Yeah.
Because what Facebook will do is it'll tell you mutual friends. I think I got mine
Oh,
on hold right now.
Yeah.
So like,
There's a Facebook Tinder.
there's Facebook dating.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, what it won't put you like if your friend, a friend on Facebook, is on the dating thing. It won't link you up with those people.
That's cool.
But what it'll do is their extended network. They might look in that, but hey,
Right.
you have a mutual friend like here and
Yeah.
stuff. That has not worked to my advantage yet.
Yeah. Well, it's because you don't have a profile.
Because like
Peter
Tahim,
Connolly.
dude,
Yeah.
holy fuck, man!
What?
Literally every third chick, it's like mutual friend Tahim, mutual friend Tahim, and I literally sent him a message, a screenshot. I'm like, hey, what's up with this chick? I'm like,
Right.
put in a good word if she asks.
Right. Right.
Nobody.
I'm sorry. It's hard to be a dude.
Well, so my problem on the dating profiles is this is it. This is the only thing I have going on in life is the fucking podcast.
That's not
So
true.
all of my stuff is selfies. If you look at Tinder, all these chicks, especially in Colorado Springs, all of them are fucking camping. So all of them have a picture next to a goddamn lake, standing on next to a goddamn mountain. My entire profile
is not by a
is
mountain.
selfies indoors.
Oh, see, you're never going to get an outdoorsy
Yeah,
chick
look
if
at
you're an indoorsy guy.
All of that is like indoor shit.
Okay. Well, we need
And
to fix
honestly,
that.
I can't be fucking dating right now. I am
Yeah,
so
you shouldn't be.
emotionally fucked
He
right
should
now.
not be dating.
No.
I agree wholeheartedly.
It is fucking awful.
Yeah. You should be getting some, you know,
Regular ass.
you should definitely do some was it high pounding.
It's high repetitious poundings.
You should seek some high repetitious pounding honestly and
No, I
openly.
should be
Don't be a
seeking some
dirtbag.
high quality mental health is what
Look, bro. Anyone who says that vagina can't cure mental illness is wrong.
I have what they call the avoidant attachment behavior.
Yeah.
Anxious avoidant attachment.
Anxious, so
So it would be nothing best. Like there's nothing better in my life than to have somebody, a significant other in my life.
yeah.
The problem is that closeness triggers my sense of abandonment.
Right.
So I start like walling off, and the
How
other
could you
person's like,
love
"What
me?
the fuck?"
How could you like who I am?
Well, no, it's just like, all right, when do you walk out the door? And that's being the military kid,
Yeah.
because I've moved every 3 years my entire life.
Yeah.
Is I'm assuming that this person's gonna be out of my life in 3 years. And it looks like my average time right now for being married is 5 years.
Well,
Isn't that fucking weird?
You know, it's cool and not cool that it's 5 years for you, but that.
Oh no, it sucks.
But
I'm emotionally hollow at this
if
point.
you take a look at the serial monogamy based off of oxytocin, when people start fucking, it's usually about 2 to 3 years, and the reason is because there's the moment where you have to have a bonding, the bonding chemical, right? So that way you'll stay with the offspring.
Yeah.
And that exists, and that's why we have a lot of serial monogamy and dumb chicks. And terrible guys. It's not just your fault, ladies. It's guys' fault too. We're all of us are shit. All humans are terrible, and we're working.
Well,
to
for
be
me, I
better.
didn't have a healthy marriage to mirror off of, so it was that fall off. But then I didn't have any examples in my life like, oh, this is how you maintain a long-term
here's the weird thing about that, and I've been
where
considering
the fuck did all this come from?
I've been considering
this
this
isn't even
for a
on the
while.
script.
It's okay. We still got 30 minutes.
High repetition pounding.
High repetition pounding is going to lead into relationships. and this is what I've been thinking: is there's this falsehood about the healthy marriage, right? Because so many people have pretense, and we lie about the difficulty of what it's like, one, to just live with a person forever.
Yeah.
You know, and two, to have to compromise with them whenever, even if you're on the same path, it's already hard to compromise on how to get to your goal. So imagine if you have it where you're not. But everybody's brought up in this stupid, like I was watching, this thing came in my feed.
Well, my ex-wife and I were raised in completely different households.
Yeah, well,
one was very cold and distant. The other one is literally still in the fucking honeymoon phase.
Right, yeah, loving and kind. And
36 years later,
but
these people are still up in each other's
but I
business.
guarantee you they argue. I guarantee you.
Well, that's the thing is they do. Is I've seen them argue.
Right.
But when they like, it's literally like they just started dating.
Yeah.
After I'm like, how the fuck do you not hold grudges with each other?
Because divorce is expensive, and if you have money, you want to stick around.
You're telling me.
You know what I mean? You know, like that's the thing too. It's real easy whenever your other
That one's off her cookie.
that was awful cookie. I love that he almost sounds like Steve Austin.
Yo, Steve
Yeah,
Austin
bro.
and Peterson Connell would have been
Dude,
a great
I would have
podcast.
loved to see them fucking wrestle.
That tweak must be getting strong these days.
Right?
That audio's a little off.
yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I was thinking about that because we don't have the difficult part. I think we have in a lot in society is that we actually don't have authentic representations of relationships. Everything's so like temporary and TV driven that we get a lot of these. Like, think about the last movie you've seen where the couple fights a lot. You know, in a love story. They don't have it. They always have this typical.
Wasn't Adam Driver in a very realistic?
Oh, I only
I've
seen
never actually
clips of
seen
that.
that.
I've only
Where he
seen
punches
clips of
the
that.
wall.
Yeah, I've seen clips of that, and that looked very real and authentic. Yeah.
I love how it's like every day I have to go to work.
Right. Yeah. Well, it's weird because there is that where we have these weird.
Wasn't that Scarlett Johansson on the other side of that relationship?
Right. Yeah.
It's crazy that dude from SNL's married to her.
Is he? I thought Ryan.
That's Colin. The fuck's that?
Colin, not Colin Farrell.
Colin
Is it Colin Farrell?
Mockery. No. God.
He
fucking
married.
Yoko
I
Ono.
thought Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett
Wasn't she married before also to Ryan? What's his face? Ryan Reynolds? No, not Ryan Reynolds. Yeah, who's she been married to?
She was with Ryan Reynolds, but Colin Jost.
Right. So wait, she's got 3 spouses? See, this is the thing that lets you know this.
I would share that.
Okay, so Romaine Duriak, Ryan Reynolds, and who else?
Who the fuck is Romaine?
So think about how fucked up that is. You know? Like, this tells you that. Like,
I can't say anything because my next
Yeah, you're
marriage
just
is going to
going
be
right
my
behind that.
third.
Right.
So.
What I'm just saying is, right, and there's an old saying that I read in a bathroom stall, which is regardless of how hot a chick is, somebody's tired of her bullshit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had this advice for a long time that someone gave me. And at first, it was very terrible, but then it kind of made sense, which was like the moment you see someone who's so attractive that you get nervous to talk to them, just picture them dropping trow and taking a shit. Because
That is a great equalizer.
because then you're like, oh, you know, like you're
I am
still a
so
person.
sensitive
You're
to
still a
smells. Did I
person.
tell you about my honeymoon?
No.
So when we went to Cancun,
Mm-hmm.
and we got the marital like suite or whatever,
Yeah.
and they're just basically these homes on this resort.
Right.
For some fucking reason, the marital room, it had a king size bed that was huge. It was probably the size of like the basement here.
Yeah.
But then you go into the bathroom, you look up in the bathroom, and there's the open ceiling, shared ceiling with the thing. So if you're fucking shitting your brains out,
Right.
the other person's hearing this completely. So for a week, anytime I had to take a shit, and resort food,
Right. Of course.
travel in Mexico,
Oh, Mexico.
I had some fucking felonies brewing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I literally put on, because I had flip-flops, I'd put on flip-flops and walk 200 or 300 feet
Yeah.
because all of those rooms circled like the central like area with the people.
Yeah.
So they had a public bathroom there. I would literally shit for a week. I was shitting in the public area.
Bro, you shouldn't be married if you can't shit next to the person. In fact, I
I
think
don't know. I like to keep that sense of
mystery is no
Because I also don't want to hear what she's dropping.
bombs. That's what she's trying.
Just awful.
Right.
I don't want to. No,
You know, think about people pooping.
no.
They do. They all do.
It smells just throw me off, man.
Yeah, I know. I've heard.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Literally, I could be like mid-action doing the
High repetitious poundings.
and if that's why I hate doggy style.
Right.
Is because usually it's my ass that I smell, but it
Right.
throws me off completely to
Right.
where I can't continue.
Oh my God, that's sad.
Dude, that's how like sensitive I am.
You know what you should do?
Which
is
actually ties back to my trauma. I
You-
know exactly where it comes from.
you should have Lysol and then spray your butthole.
Just-
Right.
Ah!
Yeah. Right.
It burns. Have it upside down so it freezes too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's cold.
I know exactly
That'll
where
help
it
you.
comes from though.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my God. Here we
going
go.
down therapy lane.
Here we go.
I moved, military kid, moved from 8th grade to 9th grade into a new school system.
Yeah.
Had a really awesome group of friends. To this day, still considered like the greatest place I ever lived. Moved to one of the worst places I ever lived in my entire fucking life.
Alabama.
Upstate New York,
Oh.
outside of
same.
Fort Drum.
Okay.
Probably one of the most racist places in the world I've ever been. So it kind of has Alabama-esque
But it's
things.
in New York. How
Yeah,
could
exactly.
it be racist?
North of Syracuse.
Fucking
So,
Northerners.
these kids fucking teased me. I was a weird kid. I was wearing the Jinkos that were on the wall at some point.
Yeah.
I was wearing those in 2001,
Yeah.
completely out of like, it's 2 years late.
Yeah.
I got to the point where I'm like, fuck it. I don't want to deal with people. So through depression, I stopped showering.
Oh.
And I eventually ended up being the stinky kid in freshman
Nice.
year.
You were the pig
So,
pen.
Yeah. I got to the point where kids were just like, "Ugh, what the fuck?" kind
Jesus
of thing.
Christ.
Yeah. Oh, it was bad, dude. It was depression. Fortunately, I got out of it. But since then, since 9th grade, I have always been like, all right, am I wearing deodorant? Am I wearing cologne? Like all
Right.
that stuff.
So basically, you're overcompensating for you intentionally stinking yourself up.
Yeah, I wasn't intentionally. It was also cold as fuck because my parents never turned on the goddamn heat in that
They
house.
didn't have hot water.
No, they never. So you jump out of the cold shower,
Yeah.
and it's like 58 degrees in the goddamn house.
It's hard to hold an erection in 58 degrees.
Yeah, it was cold as fuck, dude.
Yeah.
So it was with depression, but it was also like I don't want to freeze to death taking a shower in this goddamn ice house. So, but yeah.
So basically, it's your parents'
now,
fault.
what 20 years later? Because that was 2001. Yeah,
Yeah.
22 years later. If I get a whiff of anybody's bodily functions,
Yeah.
it immediately fucking it triggers something.
Yeah.
I'm not like high school like
Right,
on
right.
the edge, but it completely pulls my brain out of the situation. There.
Nothing to pull
Didn't
my
know this was
brain.
gonna be the MD therapy
No,
hour.
nothing pulls my brain out of a good repetitious pounding.
High
Excuse me.
repetitious poundings.
Whoever's watching this is going to hate that. By the end of it, they're going to be like, but at the same time, this is our religion, and be a
Oh, if
respecter
you
of our
hate
religion.
this, you're gonna absolutely hate our next video.
Oh, let's get there.
So,
Oh, wait, no, wait, have we finished Fed Smoker yet? Because
yeah, we got a minute left.
let's do it.
Let's not.
okay, we're gonna move on. So you've seen all that man has to offer the world. And, ladies, give him a call. His number is 555. I'm
It
dead.
would be awesome if we had Fed Smokers shit here.
Dude, hey, one episode. Let's do a Ouija board and try to talk to Fed Smoker.
I like it.
We could talk to Peter Connolly. I wonder if the Ouija board. Yes.
Just grinds down
yeah,
in there.
just real hard.
So Peterson Connell being on the meth, being
Mm-hmm.
all sexed up and everything. This guy
Yeah.
also on the meth.
Of
also,
course. You can tell by the hat.
Yeah, the hat, the general oral upkeep and everything.
Yeah.
He's going to tell you about the benefits of meth.
But I'm here to tell you, if you've had any kind of erectile disorder problems, I'm here to tell you, forget about Viagra, forget about Salus, forget about dick implants and all that stuff.
Dick
I know you
implants.
wouldn't.
Have you ever heard of dick implants?
I have heard of dick implants.
Really?
Yeah.
How does it? Are they just constantly hard when you're soft?
No, apparently there's like almost like a pump. Like you push a button and it can inflate your cock.
Is it like a blood pressure cuff where you just kind of like pump your
Oh.
balls and then?
I hope so. Let's find out. We'll find out in another episode.
And it does work. So I don't know if you believe me or not, but if you like to see me smoke some meth with a small limp dick that doesn't get hard any other way, and watch it get harder and harder, the more I smoke, the harder my dick gets. It's unbelievable. If you want to see it, tell me yes. If you don't, it's okay too, I won't. But I just want all you guys to see.
How
I want you
math
guys
works.
all to see.
How well math works.
Send you a dick.
I like that he's turned
dick
it into
video.
a science experiment instead of just admitting that he's
Yeah,
not-
Bill Nye is really falling off the
Right.
wagon.
He doesn't want to. He doesn't want to let you know that he's an exhibitionist. So he's like, "This is science. In the name of science,
I'm gonna jerk off with some
I'm gonna
meth.
jerk off with some meth."
I like he's not grinding his teeth. This is a very laid.
He doesn't
back-
have any teeth. Listen to the way he's talking.
But you're not
If you
gritting
wanna-
through anything.
You can't grit through your gums.
Meth. I wonder, does it have a variable effect
Of tooth decay?
of mania? I think that's essentially a sign of mania, isn't it? The
Well,
grinding of the teeth.
I don't know. Let's do some more meth research and come back and let the
We
people know.
really need to get a therapist on our contact
a
list.
methapist.
Would that be a therapist or a psychologist?
Either one? Therapist or psychologist, addictive counselors, more than a psychiatrist because they
Yeah.
just give you meds.
Somebody more educated than us.
Yeah.
You're gay, you won't believe how good it feels. If you're straight, you won't believe how good it feels. Your dickhead becomes so sensitive that you don't need lube, you don't need spit. You just stroke that dickhead this up and down 4 times. Just barely do it. And you'll shoot an enormous amount of very thick, hot white cum. More
I'm so glad he went into gory
It's-
details.
I was about to say,
I
like,
really
this is
appreciate
very
you.
specific.
So he's actually the artist that made the wall back
yeah,
here.
that makes sense. That makes sense.
this is
Very
this is meth cum.
very white and thick. I like that he had to put the color in there as if people wouldn't know. You're gonna have some radioactive green semen that comes out of your dick. It's only
That's what that is.
I like to say only 4 strokes. It's like, no, bro, that's you. That's you.
You know, that really would save some time.
Yeah.
There's been some ones where you're just like, God damn.
Well,
just
meth saves
fucking
time.
Hurry up.
Yeah. Meth
Like,
does save time.
That's
Hurry
what we
up.
should do. Let's smoke some meth.
Who would hurry up? Who hurries up in sex?
Sometimes you gotta get the poison out, man. I'm saying cranking one out.
Oh, okay. Well, that's different.
Yeah, you gotta get that poison. You're like, I need to make more better decisions. Let's get this fucking
Right.
testosterone.
You're like, I'm just like, I'm sad.
Yeah, I'm sad or bored.
Yeah. What's there to eat? Oh, it doesn't matter.
I'll get that dopamine easily.
Right.
than I've ever did in my life. And I know I'm gay. I love to get blowjobs. And I tell you what,
Yeah, you couldn't tell he was gay from the first sentence.
No, man. I don't judge people like that.
Oh,
I just wait till they
shit.
tell me.
About to get yelled at.
Uh-huh. I wait till they tell me.
cannot wait when I'm so fucked up and hot and horny on meth. I let anybody suck and get me a blowjob.
So apparently, if you smoke meth, just let anybody suck your dick.
Yeah, well, I mean, right now, honestly, what's the deal?
I don't think that's meth. I think it's just men.
I think it's guys.
Yeah, literally anybody that wants to suck their dick.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah, I used to tell people I was diagnosed with nymphomania, and then it turned out that I was just 17.
Truth.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, guys.
The mind of a man. And this is half of this is a sober mind too.
That's the sad part. Is like
This is just a lonely guy.
he is, and he's like, I just need you to know I'm gay. Like, we don't give a shit. You're talking
I'll
about.
send you a video if
I'll
you
send
want a
you
video.
If you don't want a video, that's okay too. It's like, thank you for giving me permission to not take your video. Like, what are you gonna do? You're gonna fucking spam my folder and just put a send all? Yeah. I know he's in a
When
homeless
his dick, I
shelter.
couldn't believe how big his dick was.
Right. That guy's in a shelter
Love this guy.
for sure.
You think this is from a shelter?
Oh, absolutely, 100%.
Look at that hat.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. But this, a few strokes, my brother didn't believe me.
Oh,
But when he smoked with me, he put out his dick. I couldn't believe how big his dick was.
Oh, my
He
God.
jacked off in 4 strokes.
4 strokes, man. You know what? Hey, that's a really tight family. You know? In this world of
Almost choked to death.
in this world of divorce and families breaking up, it's good to see that there's brotherly love out there. Hey,
Which is sadder? Smoking meth with your brother. Because you're basically pulling your brother down into that
Yeah.
downward spiral.
oh,
with
I'm sure
you.
his brother was already there.
Or jerking off with your brother.
Here's the thing. He
Or
didn't-
meth-induced jerking
right.
off.
Here's the thing. I don't even think he was jerking off with his brother. He was probably just watching. You know, it's like, feel me how big your dick is. I just want to see it. Let's do this science experiment.
I want to know how long that conversation was. Because you're like, dude, I got a job, I got a wife and kids. I'm
Right.
not gonna smoke
I'm not
with.
gonna smoke.
And
with
this
him.
guy just
Yeah.
repetitious.
Yeah, he's like, this is for science.
One day he's like, you know what, man, you really sold me on this. I'm gonna
Yeah.
throw away everything.
He was probably like, hey, if you stop coming to my house, I'll do this one
I'll
time
smoke
with you.
this once.
I'll
I'll jerk
in-
off. You get the fuck out of
Right,
here.
just never come back. And that's how he ended up in the home.
And shot the most cum he'd ever shot in his life. He's only 49, and he's fine. He has no neuropathy problems at all. But his dick gets even harder and thicker and even more cum. He believes me now. I'm not here to tell you this.
It's a continuous conversation.
I
He
like-
doesn't believe me now.
One, I want to know, because he said he was watching him do it, and then he starts to explain his brother's cum. So, you know what I mean?
So this guy's paying attention.
So this dude is like, I'm wondering, like, was it in his own face? Did it land on the ground and he like scooped it up?
God.
You know what I mean? Like, for real. He's like, his dick was harder and it had more cum than it's ever had, and it was thick. And you know, now
Actually, that does insinuate that he's seen his brother jerk off
well, he said he did.
outside of this situation.
Yeah, 100%. So he was like, yeah, because that's the thing. He's like, there's a clear measurement there where he's like, okay, listen here, Trevor. What's going to happen is you're going to jerk your dick off right now and you're going to come on the ground. And then we're going to wait and then we're going to smoke this meth. And then you're going to come in my face and I'm going to see how thick it is. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put it in a beaker and we're going to measure it.
Oh, so we got Heisenberg over here.
Yeah, he's like,
He's got a chemistry set
we're
over
going
here.
to put it on my food scale. We're going to put it on my food scale and see the weight. And then we'll find out like how much.
I have 2 food scales. I think that would ruin a food scale.
You think so? I mean, you already put
I
salty
mean-
food on there.
Not, it wouldn't ruin its functionality. It will
Yeah.
ruin it that I will never. Like, yeah, it's cool. I at one point measured meth jizz.
Right. Yeah. Just get rid of all the black lights.
There's a difference between like shitting your pants.
Yeah.
Yes, you could throw them in the wash,
Yeah, yeah.
but now you just have that sense of shame on your fucking pants.
Well, see, again, that's where your problem is. You have shame. I don't have shame. This guy, you think he's thinking about shame? He has his brother coming to his face for science. You can't be a good scientist if you've got shame. That's how people put they put beagles in the puppies where they let the beetles eat their faces.
Good God, dude!
That was
What?
Dr. Fauci did that.
Wow.
Yeah, they put puppies in a box, and they put their heads in the box, and they wanted to see how long it would take for beetles to consume their face. For science, because that's something
Not looking that one up.
Because that's something that'll come in handy one day.
I think that's the second Google search I've refused to look up.
That's okay. I still haven't looked up 2 Girls 1 Cup. That's for 1,000 subscribers.
I think it was something porn based, wasn't it?
Yeah. I don't know.
I think it was. Oh God, what was it?
What you refused to look up?
Yeah,
On
I said
this-
I'm not looking that up.
I don't know.
I don't know. I think it was like the combination of words. Like, nah, this is gonna be really hard to explain to a federal
wait.
agent. No, man, I got a fucking podcast.
Yeah. No. I looked up my brother's thickness of my brother's cum online. So when you
Like
Google
that's
search
been
it,
hot and horny on meth.
Just doing the podcast.
just doing it. That's the weird thought. I never stopped to think about that now. Like, because of the weird shit we talk about, what my Google search looks like now.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
Because I do rando stuff. And
We
then-
might have to send the library with you, just in
Right.
case you have to. Exhibit A.
Right. Mr. I'm not saying my last name. It says here that you looked. What is consent for pornography if someone's mentally handicapped?
No, you really want to fucking red flag yourself? Look
Yeah.
up the age of consent in Japan.
Oh yeah,
It's fucking like 13, 14.
yeah. So
What
Alabama,
the fuck?
Mississippi. Now we
Are they that low?
I think Mississippi's 15. We used to do this. So in Jason and the Krugers, one of our band members, his trope is that he's a sex addict, right? So at certain shows, for certain, like if we were in a certain state, he would learn the age of consent laws. So that way, when we were on stage, he'd be like, "Listen, if you're under 16, you need to back up." We're not good people. Again, I just want to let you know that. Age of consent laws in the United States. Let's find out. Yes, 17. Oh, it's 16 now. It must have changed. Where's the youngest?
There's nobody under 16 on this map.
That's smart. That means we've learned.
So federally, it's
Right.
18. So like military members, like
Yeah.
if they're in what fucking state?
Any
If they're
state,
in Washington,
right?
where did I just see a 15 on there?
There's no 15 anymore.
If you go to Washington State
Right?
as a military member and bang a 16-year-old,
Yeah.
and your employer finds out, you can still go to jail for it
Yeah.
because it's still federally like 18 or some shit.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's weird we got to the age of consent over old Methy face here.
Well, I mean, he does have us ask important questions. He's almost done, though. Let's hear what
I
else.
would love to read that text chain. Like, hey man, saw your video online.
Right.
Are you still doing meth jerk off videos?
Dude, you should
Yes,
try to
I
find him.
am.
You should try to find him. Be like, I want to see proof.
So, full disclosure.
That's your friend. That is your brother.
Yeah, I'm the brother that jerked off. No, this is a video from YMH. Because basically all the videos you see go through
Mhm.
Tosh.0 had this before
Yeah.
YMH. Same thing with Peterson Connell.
Yeah.
Tosh went through the whole thing. Then 3 or 4 years later, YMH
Well,
had it.
that's the glory of people having short attention spans, is they've forgotten that they've
Exactly.
seen
But YMH, they have like a 6-7 person production crew.
this. Mm-hmm.
They tried to find this guy, couldn't do it.
Yeah, because he's fucking dead.
Yeah, either in a homeless shelter and doesn't have a honest internet connection.
Yeah, well, his brother's certainly not never letting him live with him anymore after publicly telling him that even my brother, who came in my face with his thick, hot, warm cum, thicker
I love
than
how he
normal.
explained it.
Yeah, like he's
Thanks for painting a picture, dude.
well, bro, he's got it.
He jacked off in 4 strokes.
4 strokes.
I don't want you to do anything illegal. I don't want you doing anything you don't feel comfortable doing. But I promise
That's our
you,
disclaimer now.
I promise you, if you can find anybody you know that won't get you into trouble, smoke some meth. The more you smoke off that bowl, the harder your dick will get. Some guys get a small that don't get it helps them not to get a hard on. Some guys like me, it's a proven fact. Your dick will get hard. So if you want to see me go from a limp dick to a hard dick, I will do it this weekend, and I'll videotape it from just a small dick, very limp, and watch it get harder and harder.
And
That's
I
a
will be
proven fact.
outside
All
of the
right, let me know.
school.
Yeah.
I'll be outside of elementary school so that way I can get 3 hots and a cot.
What we should do. Shit's chess, man. They ain't checkers. We should try to find this guy and get the lighting going. Could you
Yeah.
imagine seeing that in 4K, color adjusted, well lit studio?
Right.
we could watch this guy smoke meth
Right.
from a small limp dick. It just keeps growing and growing.
Yeah, it keeps growing and growing. It goes from 3 inches to 3.5 inches. So hard.
Because right now he has all that whitewash. Look
Yeah.
how washed out like
Yeah.
the outside is.
He's obviously not thinking about production. I mean,
Do we know any meth heads?
no,
We know some coke heads.
We
but
definitely
we're-
know some cokeheads. I'll ask them. Hey, I'll go up and go like, "Hey, this is for science. Can you blow your load in my face and let me measure it?"
Can you go over to MD's house
Right.
and jerk off
Right.
in the studio
For science.
for science?
For
You can
science.
add to this wall.
Right. Yeah. This is the comedian cum wall. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, the green right here's the meth
Yes.
cum.
I mean, it's,
Doesn't bother me a bit. If you say yes, I'll show it to you. The majority will win. If the majority says no, you'll never hear from me again.
Thank
Just let
God.
me know, okay? Thanks.
I like that there's the majority. This is the thing.
Yeah,
where,
it's very democratic.
yeah. I mean, so even meth heads care about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness.
Exactly.
So he's ethical.
I wonder how many requests he had.
I wonder if, like, yeah, that's a good question. If
How many people
you
were
know
like,
what happened is
send that shit?
probably was like no, and then he killed himself. OD'd. He's like, nobody wants to see my hot sticky cum.
sticky cum?
Yeah.
But my
Is there
understanding
any other kind?
from the YMH is this guy took this down within 48 hours.
Oh, that's disappointing.
I'm thinking he wasn't at home. And
Yeah, yeah.
his internet activity might have been like, you about to get kicked out of here.
Yeah, yeah.
Especially if you're smoking fucking meth.
I'm not trying to tell you to smoke meth or not. I'm just telling you if you want to come in my face, that this is what you're gonna. That's what we're gonna
I'm
do.
not here to tell you to do anything illegal. I don't want you to do anything illegal. I don't want you doing anything you don't feel comfortable doing.
Right.
Don't do anything illegal.
Yeah. Don't do anything illegal. Just smoke less and come in my face. Smoke meth. Come in my face. We'll measure it. We'll get a Bunsen burner.
Oh, my God. Oh, that would smell so bad, dude.
We'll get a Bunsen burner. We'll see how thick it is. We'll measure out its fluid ounces.
It's viscosity.
Yeah.
That's a fun word for me.
Viscosity.
Viscosity.
It's viscous. It's viscous. We'll see it's viscous. We'll find out what the temperature is of my hot, sticky meth semen.
Oh, God.
Then my brother will come in.
Boiled cum, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Then my brother's gonna come in the room and he's gonna take it and he's gonna add his fluids to my fluids and then we're gonna see how thick it is and then I'm gonna leave this shelter because they found this video.
What are you guys doing in here?
Right. It's just me and my brother.
He jacked off in 4 strokes.
Right. See, that'll be his response. Why are you kicking us out? He only jerked off in 4 strokes. It was done.
How long you been married?
I don't even know, bro. Forever.
It's been a while, though.
It's been a while.
So, like, depression,
Yeah.
you know, end up jerking off a lot and everything.
yeah.
You know, eventually that smell kind of fills a room. When was the last time? Have you had a situation that where you
Where
like,
there's smell of semen.
Yeah.
I mean, one, I've got a deviated septum, so I can't smell very well. And the second thing is, again, I have no shame, so I don't care.
No.
It could smell that way. I don't
Because
know.
my thing is like, if you remember that phase of your life, or walking into someone else's room where you're like, it smells like cum. I couldn't imagine, because that's stale cum.
Right.
Boiled off cum with a Bunsen burner.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be fucking terrible.
Bro, that just smells like a set in L.A.
You ever seen I think Reddit and Facebook has very so often they'll show a guy with like a huge fucking like gallon. It's like it took me 6 months to like fill
Jesus
this with cum.
Why?
Just the thought of how bad that would smell, like that is the closest I can come
just
to
who keeps their
dry
cum?
heaving.
You know, like
It is definitely a mental illness.
yeah, absolutely.
There's no way you're like, yeah, I'm a
Yeah.
varsity football player, fucking jizzing into this goddamn jug.
We need to put that on the Peter Connolly's website on his Tinder profile. I also collect jars of semen. For
There's
science.
another one. So I had a buddy when I lived in Germany. He
Mm-hmm.
went to the psycho shit and Reddit,
Yeah.
but he said that there was this gamer that would jerk off under his table,
Yeah.
his gaming like desk,
Yeah.
onto this cardboard box. Yeah, I could already see your eyes are like,
Yeah.
a fucking mushroom grew out of this fucking thing.
Yeah, bro. Life begets life.
Oh my god,
Uh-huh.
dude.
Ladies say we can't procreate without you. We grew fungus. We can grow.
It's just so goddamn gross.
We put the fun in fun guy.
We got to pull from the Brad's Fiend episode, the fish thing, because I literally just had a fish. Fish.
Yeah, I'll pull that and we'll get the audio. for
Oh
that.
God.
Fish. Oh, that video actually got like thousands of views.
Really?
Yeah, it was like I put Michael Jackson didn't do it.
You know how to title them.
I do.
We got what? We got 3 articles, and
We could skip one if we need to.
Which one you want?
I don't know. We could skip the fossil one. Might not be that interesting. It's real short though. I mean,
Yeah, what was it? 46,000.
yeah, 46,000-year-old suspended life, I guess is what they called it.
Boom.
But I just
Scarlett
I
Johansson.
like that we looked out. I didn't realize she was only 5'3".
God, she just gets sexier and sexier in my book.
Yeah, but people don't want her because obviously she's annoying.
Do you
'Cause
think
think
so? Do you think she has that annoying
Bro,
gear?
all right, if you look like Scarlett
Scarlett?
Johansson and you've got millions of dollars and some dude still doesn't want to be with you, you suck. Or
Well,
maybe
what
she
if
doesn't.
it's the dude? Like, who was it? Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, Ryan
Do you
Reynolds
think
is
he's a
cool.
decent husband
Yeah,
in the
absolutely.
background?
Absolutely.
Just because he did Deadpool? You
No,
think he's
because I'm a
good fucking-
misogynist.
Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah. He seems fun.
For 3 years.
Right.
Well, here's the thing, though, is that altitude of success, it's very possible that their schedules just didn't line up, or their grind game was not complementary to
Yeah,
each
certainly.
Because I think at that point he was trying to do Deadpool. He was trying to get Deadpool from Fox.
Right.
So it's possible that grind game, Deadpool, all the other projects, it might just be they didn't have a good time together.
Yeah.
Your
that's-
grind has to match up. I think that's one of the reasons why my second marriage fucking broke up. Is our grind kind of fucked up. We're also looking up the Bush family values there.
There we go. That's good stuff.
Um,
No, I think it's Scarlett's fault.
nah,
Yeah, because you
it's
don't.
always the man's fault. This is 2023. God damn it.
You never leave a hot chick who's awesome and a millionaire. You know? Think about that. You won the lottery. Right, that's what I'm saying.
God damn.
If you're fine as fuck and you've got millions of dollars, there's something else going on in there, where you're just like, I don't know. I mean, if you're leaving. Scarlett, look, let's have a conversation. Why don't you call us up? We'll talk to you about this. And unlike other people, I'm not trying to bang you, so we'll just have
I don't like how that's.
we'll just have an honest conversation.
Oh, that's weird.
What, her weird? Maybe he
Just
left
the
her
way
because her
those are
boobs are weird.
packed. Yeah,
They're just
she's
weird.
got weird
You got weird boobs, Scarlett.
Is that Colin Jost right there? Yeah.
Yeah,
She's got a tattoo back there too. by
of
the
course she
looks of
does. She's like, that's where you need to put my hot sticky steam after smoking meth.
She would get 4 strokes out of her.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Moving on. Speaking of resurrected extinct animals.
You almost said alien too.
I
Oh yeah, we
almost
do
said
that, but on
alien,
the
yeah.
docket.
We do.
Scientists resurrected an extinct animal frozen for 46,000 years in Siberia.
Of course, it was in Russia.
Goddamn Russians.
All right, here's why I hate a lot of articles, because that's the animal they found. A worm, a roundworm.
And it looks microscopic.
Yeah,
you
it's-
tell
it
by
is. Yeah, it's a microscopic worm. So that's the weirdest part to me, is that that's supposed to be like this giant scientific amazing discovery, but literally it's just a parasite that irritates the shit out of you. It's not like
Yeah.
the way they word
it
it
looks
was
like go in your pee hole.
Right, it will, definitely, especially if you're swimming in Louisiana. But if you take it to heart, Louisiana, because they have brain amoebas there. It's not my fault. They did it. But yeah, so what they basically said was that it was frozen and it paused its evolution. And so once they unfroze it, they started mating these things, cryobiosis, right?
The fuck?
They shut down their it says they shut down their metabolic systems and transform into desiccated husk that can be resuscitated once favorable conditions return, which is cool. I appreciate that, but you're a parasite, so who gives a shit? And the thing with articles like that, it's like, scientists get animal back from, and then you read, it's like, it's not a mammoth. It's not like a dinosaur.
You
It's
saw they're
just-
trying to possibly
Bring back the mammoth.
clone a mammoth.
I did, and that's good. Those will make good eating. Imagine, and see, that could be the ethical thing. If you could just clone animals without their heads, so there's no brain, then you could just feed everybody all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It would be interesting seeing a mammoth, though.
Yeah, big woolly man. I mean, it was on Sesame Street.
'Cause I think with DNA, you can go back 70,000 years is carbon dating. I think DNA is shorter than that, though. Because everybody's like, oh, what happens if we do Jurassic Park? Those are, what, millions of years old.
Right. Yeah, you'll have to just clone it. is what
You
mean.
can't, though.
No, no.
'cause
What
the
I mean is-
DNA.
right. What I mean is you can manufacture it and synthesize it. And then
Well, I think
create
what
it.
you do is you go to the modern evolutionary end,
Which they don't know
and you
what
pull
is.
that out of the active DNA.
Right.
Like you can't pull it out of the fossil because one, it's fossilized. And then
Right.
two,
Pulling
it's
concrete.
too goddamn old.
Yeah. Well, the weirdest thing with all that too is that they keep changing what the fuck the ancestor is. So first it was reptiles, then it was birds, then it was like guys are just making shit up now.
No, it's just more scientific findings.
Yeah.
I
that's
know.
what
I would be
scientists
more
say.
doubtful if I saw like religious, like, oh yeah, in the face of all these facts, we're sticking with. Because wasn't that a Jim Gaffigan joke?
What's that?
It was sea lions.
Sea lions?
Sea lions or penguins or some shit.
Mhm.
You're like, yeah. If you look over here, this is the male sea lion. And then like literally a baby like falls out. He's like, yeah, the males do that.
Right. That's what they do. That's what they do.
I forget what that was. Yeah, I would. In the face of facts, you have to change what that is, and because right when Jurassic Park was being made, they the CGI they actually wanted to put forked tongues in
Mhm.
that, and the archaeologists that were on that movie, they said we don't do that. They're like, what's up? And they're like, we're finding now. This is like what the early '90s
Mhm.
that there's likely that these are not the descendants of reptiles. It might actually be birds. So this is constant.
And that's why I eat ducks
Exactly.
because they deserve
Fucking
it.
eat dinosaurs.
They deserve it. I'm a dinosaur conqueror.
That'd be cool to have a dinosaur
We do. Just get a parakeet.
or an alligator.
Fucking alligators, bro. Hate
Have you
those
seen the
things.
video of the crocodiles at the zoo? There's like 4 of them.
Uh-huh.
They throw a chicken over like the top of the 4 of them, and one of them like turns. The other one, because the way it turns, it hits the other one in the face with its arm.
Oh, that's
And he's
awesome.
just like, oh, I just saw a live bird. Saw a bird.
Right.
Something just hit my face, so he grabs onto the arm
Oh, damn.
and fucking twists the thing off.
Oh, yeah, of course.
That.
I hate alligators, dude. I hate them with a passion. I like that they taste good.
I gave him my complaint about going to the NASA, the Kennedy Space Center, right?
What?
So we're at the Kennedy goddamn Space Center, the height of human existence.
Right.
We traveled to the goddamn moon from the Kennedy Space Center.
Allegedly.
Not allegedly. So when you go to the Kennedy Space Center, they have basically the area is dedicated to the shuttle
Yeah.
and then some of the really early things. If you want to see the cool Apollo shit,
Right.
you got to get on a goddamn bus and travel fucking 20 minutes to get out to the fucking pads there.
Mm-hmm.
You're in fucking Florida though.
Oh, yeah.
So every fucking 15 seconds, or the bus comes to a complete stop. I'm like, wait, what happened? Are we there yet? You're like, no, we still got another time. I'm like, oh fuck, did the bus break? I'm gonna miss Apollo.
Right.
You're like, no, look at the goddamn crocodile in Florida.
Yeah.
You could literally take a rock and hit a fucking crocodile anywhere.
Well, alligator, right? They don't have crocodiles.
I don't know what the fuck. It was a goddamn dino. I'm not here to see
crocodile.
dinosaurs. I'm here to see space shit.
It's a crocagator.
We're running out of time here.
Oh, no. Well, maybe we should go to PG porn.
You want to do P?
Then we could.
If YouTube fucking flags this goddamn shit.
They can't flag genius, bro.
Real man of genius.
We haven't been flagged. Have we been flagged lately?
No, because I got fucking scared after pulling. It was the Animaniacs thing.
The Animaniacs thing.
So, January 6th,
Yeah.
there was this girl. Actually, she's like in 30s or 40s.
Right.
She got maced jumping into the to the Capitol.
That's fantastic.
So she's sitting there sobbing to the news. She's like, "They pushed me out and maced me." Somebody took, it's Animani, totally insane.
Right.
They pushed me out and maced me. Animani.
That's awesome.
It was like a 15-second clip. It fucking pulled the whole episode for copyright. And I'm like, what the fuck?
That's terrible.
Damn, it's funny as shit, though.
Well, I'm mad at you Susan Wojcicki, whatever your face is. You ruined YouTube. She ruined the shit out of YouTube.
It's because they're all trying to sell soap, bro.
I know.
PG.
I thought you already had it there. Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna be so goddamn pissed if you fucking.
You're not
get
going to
this
do
pulled.
that. No, that's the
I
wrong one. We
understand.
don't do episode 4. We need episode 1.
What?
You got to start at the first one.
Oh God.
Yeah, man. Right there. Nailed his wife. There we go. James Gunn. Nailing your wife. For those,
Oh, they literally had the star's name on.
yeah.
Is Norman here?
Do you mean Norman Grimes, the foreman of this construction site?
Mm-hmm.
He just took a trip to the lumber yard.
All right. See, wait, pause.
Once again, he forgot he was.
This is very important. I like that they added the VCR scratches. You know what I mean? Because they really worked on this. Because this, I think, came out like in 2000s, right? And so
It's 7 years ago.
yeah. Well, yes. So, well, I think it was older than that though. This is somebody else's site. But either way, I think it's just awesome because they really nailed, like the premise for this, for those of you who don't know, is all the things you love about porn with none of the sex. So there.
He was meeting here for lunch.
Terrible.
Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Grimes. He's usually pretty quick.
Pretty quick is right.
What do you mean?
He only lasts like 5 minutes and then rolls over in bed and turns off the light and
What's wrong with that?
goes to sleep.
I'm tired.
Oh, don't listen to me. I'm sure you don't want to hear about the problems of some lonely housewife.
Oh no, Mrs. Grimes, I do.
Please, call me Amber.
Well, I tell you what, Amy. I'd never roll over on you. That's a
Have you seen like the really hardcore shit? Was it facefuck.com or something?
Oh yeah, I've seen that.
Just talking mad shit to
Some of those, like,
chicks.
I can't, man. Like, there's some stuff where I'm just not, like, the straight, like, slapping
Yo.
and then, like, just the cruel talking. Like, that shit doesn't turn me on because all I think about is, like, mentally ill chicks and mentally ill dudes.
mentally
Just, like, traumatized
yeah.
people who need to smoke meth and get it out in 4 strokes, in their home. And I just think about that. That's what ruins. See, you have the smell. I have the mental illness. Like, that's the thing that bothers me. Smells will bother you. Trauma bothers me.
What throws me off though is because usually they're hitting the gag reflex,
Yeah,
and they
yeah.
have them puking into a bowl.
Yeah.
At some point, they put the bowl on top of them.
Right,
Like,
no,
now
no.
that's a bridge too far.
Yeah, no,
Rough
it's-
sex, I could stay in the
I-
pocket and be like, okay, she signed up for this.
Right. I can
It-
understand.
It got to the internet, so she obviously didn't file charges.
Right.
Like,
Yeah, I can understand high repetition pounding.
Yeah.
But when you're pouring your own puke on someone, that's too far.
that's
Yeah, that's
Of course
disgusting.
you wanted me to.
Is that so? You really should take a break from all this hard work. You need someone to massage those gorgeous muscles of yours?
Really? I wonder who that would be.
I have a few ideas.
Oh, wow.
Like the star wipe.
Let's get you out of this tool belt.
Let me help you with that. Anthony?
Perfect. Told you.
wow.
Right. Yeah. So
Ouchie. God damn.
that, and it's all like that. So there's 2 seasons. I suggest everyone.
They end
you all-
violently on
you
all
need
of
to-
them?
No. But the ones that do are
Like,
hilarious.
ooh, violence to women? I'm in.
No, because I'm a misogynist. No, but
I
dude,
can see you've been talking to your mother again, haven't you?
yeah. So, and it's all stuff like that. I like a buddy of mine showed me that years ago, and I just lost it and it only gets wilder. It only gets more fucked up, and I just love every minute of it because it's all like the acting is all intentionally like that.
Yeah.
He went over there.
Or I love that Dexter setup he
Yeah.
had, too. All the fucking plastic.
Oh, yeah, it's a construction site, man.
Yeah.
Nailing your wife.
High repetitious poundings.
Oh, repetitious pounding.
High repetitious poundings.
CI double agent.
All right, we're at Hour 30.
Oh my God, we went far. We did a
Yeah.
lot today.
We you think UFOs will still be in the news in the next week?
I'm sure that guy will be dead.
If they bag that dude, oh my God!
Right after he says, "I can't talk about people killing." Do you have a
Fuck
clip
it, let's
of
go into
Yeah,
it.
let's do it. Let's talk about UFOs. They exist. Moving on.
Yeah, to the left you had a Navy pilot. In the middle you had a GS-15, which is like a high-ranking civilian in the federal government. And to the right you had a Navy pilot that saw the Tic Tac situation.
Yeah.
I did not like the guy in the middle. He seemed rather pompous, and he had no idea what he was doing with the microphone.
Yeah.
I hate. Nothing drives me wild, like just unhinges me more than microphone discipline,
Yeah.
especially with comics, but really anybody.
Yeah.
Is dude, if you're holding a microphone in public, you're listening to the same audio we are.
That's true. Yeah.
That was what got me at first. Was his S's were going straight into the mic. Fucking dude, come on. I don't know. In those congressional hearings,
Yeah.
I'd imagine that audio is going out though too.
It
I
should
think
be.
that is for the record, but it's also to broadcast that person because they're not.
Oh, it's gotta go
Yes,
to the
sir.
board.
You asked me that question.
Yeah.
So
No, they have a soundboard. I know that they have soundboards there. Because,
their audio guys sucked.
Yeah.
You
That's
got
what-
to put a fucking a pop guard or
Yeah,
whatever
windscreen.
they call it. Yeah. You got to put that on
pop
that guy.
screen.
We had a couple guests on the podcast when it was the damn podcast.
Yeah.
Ooh, really
Yeah.
bad pee poppers. It's like you have the audio right here in your fucking ears.
Yes, but I'm amazing. I just like being loud. Speaking of aliens.
So, do you believe the aliens exist?
Oh, 100%.
Do you believe that
absolutely.
they are visiting us?
More than likely possible, but I don't have hard evidence for that. However, I do think they would. I'll say yes. I'll say yes. If I had to bet, I would say yes.
I do find it weird that we have some really high definition imagery of stuff, of all these other things, but as soon as the aircraft come up, the unknown aircraft, all of a sudden it's like, oh God, I don't know how to operate a goddamn camera.
Well, that's annoying also. But I mean, whenever you have trained pilots that are seeing things outmaneuver them.
Yeah. Well, especially, I don't know how much you watch, but they're saying that they changed the sensors on the F-18. I think they said it was the Foxtrot.
Mhm.
All of a sudden, they're seeing all of this shit off the coast of
Right.
Virginia, and you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
So
well,
I eventually caught up with these assholes.
Well, and that's the thing too, is that we used to have lower technology, so it was all eyesight based, right?
Yeah.
And now we're having things like infrared vision and night vision and all these
That's
things. that are-
wild. Is they see the imagery on far distant radar,
Right.
and then they fly up over there, and now they're seeing it on multiple sensors. You're
Right.
like, this is something.
Well, and that's the thing that always bothers me is just like, also if you take a look through history, and I mean, you and I have conversed about this with the, what was the show you were giving? Ancient Apocalypse,
There
right?
you go. Did you finish that?
I finished the first 4 episodes.
How have you not? It's an easy one.
I got a lot.
It's like 7 episodes of 45 minutes.
Yeah,
or
I think
something.
I'm like 4 in.
Nice.
Right. And then I want to go back because I want to talk about it in much more detail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because as you watch it, there's a lot of some of the stuff I knew because of like Chariot of the Gods and some of the other other books I've read on dealing with this, and especially when
Fingerprints of the Gods. Chariots of the Gods is another person.
Yes, yeah. Well, I don't mean his book. I mean but because they touch on the same thing. So that entire
They do, but they don't.
right.
So Fingerprints of the Gods is we believe
Right.
that human civilization is older than the pyramids.
Right.
Fingerprints Chariots of the Gods
It's
is saying
aliens.
all this shit's aliens.
Yeah,
so
and I don't have it.
don't come to me with that bullshit
Right.
saying the aliens built the fucking ancient
Well, and see, I
pyramids.
think that's the thing too, is that you don't always have to have extraterrestrial things to be alien.
Yeah.
You know? And so for me, I think humans are, especially modern humans right now, are just very egotistical and egocentric, and we always think that we are the greatest and the best at what's happening. So if we
that was
can't
the point
figure
you
it out,
made.
right?
Was we think this is a sequential line where if a huge asteroid were to reset everything, how many of us could make a phone?
Right. Most people.
There's a couple people like, fuck, we gotta go back to the drawing board and learn this shit because I'm just a jackass.
Right. Well, and think about all the civilizations that'll survive. I mean, we know for a fact that there are plans in place for if an asteroid hits
Yeah.
or if there's a nuclear fallout, that the governments of the world are going to take those people that they feel are elite and some worker bees, and they're going to bring them
And the worker
underground.
bees are gonna eat the
Yes.
rich.
Well, no.
I'm telling
they're
you,
gonna
we
lose.
need to eat the rich.
It'll never happen. It'll be 1984. That's what's going to happen. We're going to think we'll win and be like, oh, the masses will wake up. They're never going to wake up.
I'm not here to tell you to do anything illegal. I don't.
Eat the rich.
They're tasty. No, but yeah, I have no problem looking at that because think about the technological advancements that we've made in the past 80 years, right?
Shit, even the last 30.
Yeah, well, in the last 20.
The video games that we grew up with.
Right. Well, and we're about to hit AI. So we're about to hit those like the AI things. What if we were the AI of whatever preceded us? We're the learning machine, right? And then those other things, why again, we always look at it as humanoid creatures, but why we've never gone into the ocean. 90% of the ocean is uncharted.
I think even that's a low number.
Right.
I think we're past like 95.
Right. So if you stop and think about it, like why couldn't there be some other intellectual creature that can live in the depths? And just like the giant kraken that can't come up.
5% of the ocean has been explored.
Right. And
it's fucking wild.
And notice we keep going up as like why do we keep putting all this money to go somewhere where it's infinite and you'll never find anything? And all evidence that we've ever seen is only by bullshit measurement paintings and motherfuckers lying.
You say we're not going to find anything in outer space?
I'm not going to say that we're not. I'm just saying the methods of what science claims is just untestable and it's tomfoolery.
Well, I think because of the distances, it is kind of a futile until we get our transportation figured out.
But I think they're just black. I just think they're using black money, where they're just spending all this money.
They're using PET money?
Yes. They're just spending all this money and doing other shit with it and pretending that we're going out there.
Yeah.
That seems very more likely to me than the fact that that any leader on the planet is like, well, 50% of America is still underwater, but we don't want to look at it. Why? Why not? I mean, literally, why are we spending all this money looking for shit in the infinite instead of here?
What's wild, because we're talking about the distances there. Voyager 1 is doing 38,000 miles an hour. It's still going to take 40,000 years for it to get to our closest neighbor.
Right.
So I hate that you said that there's nothing going on up there, because I think human existence's purpose, again, being an atheist, is to find an intelligence outside of our own. I think that's why we exist. But until we can transverse these distances quickly in our own lifetimes,
right? Well, and
then you run into the other part of it is if you're traveling too fast, time travel.
Right. Think about that claim. You mean to tell me that you can send something that goes 38,000 miles an hour and sends signals back here?
Mm-hmm. It takes like hours now for Voyager 1 to talk to us.
Hours. Mm-hmm. But you can't fucking get cable and internet faster than that. And that's why I just think there's a bunch of bullshit there. Because you have these things, and it's all claims that can't be tested or verified. Oh, well, in 40,000 years we'll be there. How the fuck do you mean 40? What do you mean? And when people are like...
Because we know the speed, and we know the distance.
Right, we know the speed, and we assume the distance.
That's 10 trillion miles away.
Right, we assume the distance because we're doing it based off of our human observation and the distance of
math.
Right, of light. Right. But so what? It's untestable. Right? Because it's not empirical. We can't go out and measure it really. Like whenever they say, oh, well, I can tell what's on the sun. I can tell what Jupiter is like on the surface. Really? How do you know what Jupiter's like on the surface? You haven't been there.
We don't have any spacecraft that have gone to the surface.
Right, but there are claims like that. Like
Venus, we do.
Well, we claim that we do.
No, the Venus spacecraft lasted like less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That atmosphere
fucked it up.
Thing up quick.
Yeah. Well, but see, that's my problem is we have all these assumptions of what all these other planets have. And then if you take a look at it, whenever I look at a lot of I started looking for the artist's interpretation, right? They'll show you a picture of a planet and they're like, well, they didn't take a color photo. They're just saying, these are what the light waves look like. And this has to be a storm cloud. Why? Well, you're basing all of that only on Earth. And there's
I mean, I know what you're saying because the atmosphere of Jupiter is mixed gases. That one, I think you can't take a plain picture of, and you'll actually see that. But when you start looking at like the finger, the hand of God, or pillars of creation, it's one of the most famous Hubble pictures.
Yeah.
Is if you were just to take a typical picture that we can see in our photographic line, you wouldn't really see anything.
Right.
What they do is like, all right, we have helium here. This is going to be represented by blue. We have various things. We're going to represent by different colors.
Right.
It just happens once we have used all of those things. They look fucking fantastic.
Yeah.
Some of the greatest pictures, created by man. But to like disqualify that as be like, well, you don't know. It's like,
Well,
that's
how do
kind
you-
of
how do you
attacking the
kn-
person that
But how do you know what?
assembled that information.
How do you know that Jupiter's made of mixed gases if you've never been there?
So what they do is when you're looking with stars specifically, they take a look at that wavelength and they put it through brine water. And what they show is if helium is burning off, if you were to run that wavelength through, there's brine water that actually filter out specific things. If it's nickel, I'm trying to think of all the things that burn for stars, it'll have different wavelengths with
Because
them.
of the light.
Yeah, because of the light.
So we look at rays
You
of
take
light.
your known variables and apply it to what you're trying to.
Right, but we're also assuming that those planets behave the way that we think they should behave, right?
I mean, what else are you going to base it off of?
Well,
Your made up bullshit? That's called religion.
Well, right, but it's also on a premise of assumption because it doesn't have to behave that way.
It doesn't have to, but that is what I was complimenting earlier on in
Right.
the episode is with new information, we change that. With our current understanding of the way helium burns, why does nickel keep cutting? Nickel's in our core. Yeah.
But even assuming our core, like I remember they were
acoustics is how they do that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that they're wrong. I'm just saying that I have more skepticism from people who are in positions of authority who demand fealty to their knowledge instead of questioning
I
it.
think that skepticism is healthy individually, but if you look at NASA's budget, it's so fucking minuscule. If you get enough people saying that, like, oh, fuck these nerds, we lose out on that.
I'm not
So
saying
it's
fuck
healthy to
these
have that
nerds.
individually, but I hate that a large group of people are like, the Bible says not to go through space.
Yeah,
Like,
well, that's where the demons
fucking
are.
stupid.
But I want to go down. I want to go down. And again, I'm not shitting on. Yeah, I am shitting on NASA. Fuck you, NASA. I'm saying.
I'm shitting on the people that finance NASA.
Right. What I'm saying
Pony
is,
up.
I want to see us look at the rest of our planet first, and then all of that, because we can actually test the things
Why
here.
not both?
Because we're not. We're not. What was it? The budget of NASA for 1 year could fund oceanography for like 50 years. And when you stop and think
Just
about
don't put it through the Titan. Pop.
Right. Yeah, and that's again, I have skepticism, and yes, what you're saying that does make sense, and I would believe it if you're like, hey, we measure these gases through whatever brine water.
No.
And
That is
we're-
my most recent understanding.
Yeah,
But they
well-
do put it through something. Something filters out that light,
Yeah, and again,
light waves.
I'm not saying that math isn't healthier and objective. Math is objective. Right?
Yeah.
Like we know that. But a lot of the things that happen after that is we perceive it. And it's all based off our human perception based off of
Those
our,
are known variables. It's
Right.
not like they're like, oh, we're going to guess.
Yeah, I'm not there saying they're just making shit up. I'm saying that they are allowing their assumptions to create a bias in it because we can't go there. And so until you go there, I'm not going to really believe you.
Well, so if you don't take what is known and start to make educated predictions on those outcomes, if you're missing that mechanism, what do you do?
Well, no, I agree. You need
You just
to
go, I don't know.
No,
I don't know. I don't know.
No,
I
that's
don't-
not-
like,
that-
you literally wouldn't
right.
understand
But-
99% of the world.
I agree. That's fair. That's fair. I agree. You need an educated hypothesis, your educated guess, and you need to test it. But the other thing is it's got to be replicable. And so,
Yeah, what was it? Repeatable, predictable. There's 4 of them that are solid. Observable, repeatable, measurable,
right.
and predictable. If
Right.
you can get those first 3, if you see these variables, I can now predict the next outcome. That's the one I always forgot about. And I
Yeah.
did a college course. I was like, oh, predictability is the last, You know, seeing these things change, cool. Now I can predict this outcome.
Right. And that's and I agree that there's mechanics to the universe that are objective, or at least I believe that that is the case. But I don't know that is the case because I don't have all the empirical data to do that. Like, I don't know that there's only however many elements that we say there are in the universe, because we can discover a new element anywhere else in the fucking
They're
universe.
saying there's comets and shit bringing in stuff. We're like, we haven't seen this before.
Right, and that's my whole point about the thing that that's where the human element of science pisses me off. It's, well, we know this, and this is the way it is. Oh, fuck. You know
I
what
think
mean?
that is
Like,
old science, because what we're talking about with like
we really
the
just-
generation that's being brought up with Netflix and like Ancient Apocalypse
Mhm.
is one of the big pillars of that documentary. Is like, hey, look at all these old crusty guys. They won't get off the fucking pot.
Right.
I'm coming up with new stuff. I think the older we get, the more we see that old breed dying off.
Right.
We're gonna see people who are like, hey, this is the old like mindset, but we're finding this new stuff.
Right. And that's, again, science should be about questioning and being okay with being wrong.
Yeah.
However, the psychological behavior of man shows that we don't allow for that very often. And that's a lot of my problem. So it's-
Religiously based too. It's because
it
the
just-
reason why
it doesn't even have to be religious, because if you think about it, atheism does the same thing.
Well, no, the reason why the Egyptian stuff is not being able to be measured right now is
Right.
the head of Egyptology in
Right.
Egypt is a pompous asshole
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
like, I discovered this. It's exactly how I say.
Right.
Those pyramids are not fucking 6,000 years old.
Right.
Those, I'll show you once you get done with that, if you ever do.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah.
show you the
will.
masonry side of it.
Well, yeah, I mean, I remember when they were talking about the Sphinx being its age, and they discovered that the back of it is older than the front of it.
Yep.
Right? And so that's what I'm talking about. Is I'm glad that we do have this kind of self-correcting thing that occurs.
Mm.
The problem is every time we self-correct, we tend to be like, well, that's it. Fuck it. And then it takes, like you were saying, a new generation to come along and be like, is this really it?
Yeah.
And then for the longest time, it's like, no, it's all heliocentric. You know, it's all Earth-centric.
That one's
also.
wild too. It's heliocentric. Fuck, what were there? There was like 2 or 3 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was Earth-centric,
Right.
Sun-centric, and then our solar system was centric at one point too.
Right.
It's fucking wild.
Well, and that's what I'm saying. It's cool that we're learning all these things, but again, for me, it's what is the practicality of it? You know, like when I was talking to someone earlier, we were talking about like the kind of like the mind-body problem, but also he posed this question: how is it possible that something can be impossible? Because that seems to be a contradiction. And I was like, well, no, it's not a contradiction, because you're discussing about this particular thing, not about the possibility of impossible things. Because if something violates the laws of non-contradiction, it can't be.
Yeah.
Right? Because you can't both be 6 foot tall and not 6 foot tall simultaneously. You can't both exist and
That
not
had to have been a
exist.
weird fucking conversation.
Well, it was. It was, and they brought up the Schrodinger's cat experiment, and I was like, well, that's all well and good, but that's not even practical and real. We know. Right? You can say, well, until you open the box, the cat is both alive and dead. No, it's fucking not. And the reason I know that is because a body doesn't just decay. We don't discover decayed bodies when
well,
we
body's
discover it.
status is not based on the perception. That's where philosophy, where you're like, fuck off. Just
Right.
is the heart stopped? Is the brain stopped? It's fucking over.
Yeah,
but
it's
they're like,
done.
well, until another person fucking
Right.
sees it, what's it? Fuck off.
Right, right. And that's what I
Get
mean
your
by
philosophy out of here.
Well, and that's what I mean by the practicality. And they're like, oh, well, he mathematically proved that. Who gives a shit if he mathematically proved that? That doesn't mean because you created the problem and the solution that that's both the case, right? Because either something's alive or not alive. It's not both alive and not alive simultaneously. And if you're like, oh, but if you look at it on a nano perspective, fuck out of here, bro. I don't care about
What
that.
the fuck?
Yeah, because that's the problem with. And you know what? Like, what was the?
I could not have a philosophy major because one, I'd look at him confused as fuck, and then at some point I'd be like, just fuck off.
That was one of my majors, and I always had arguments with it because, again, like I always start at the beginning of, does it violate the laws of logic? Period. Because if
Yeah.
it violates the
And
laws of
Schrodinger's
logic,
cat is like the
Violet-
cat's either dead or alive.
right? It can't be both because you haven't seen it yet.
Yeah.
You're like, oh well, you know, the experiment that showed that light is both a wave and a. Shut up, shut the fuck up. I get it. I understand what you're saying, that on a subatomic level there may be some changes, but the reality is we deal in the practical world.
Yeah.
And what was it? Was it Hig Boggs or whatever the fuck that was?
Boggs,
the
Higgum.
Boggs
They talking about
Higgs,
the God particle.
Yeah, they were talking about the God particle. And
In
my
fact, it's
favorite
actually the
things-
goddamn particle.
Right. The thing I thought was hilarious about that is whenever they were talking about it and they showed the experiment, it's just this giant empty room.
Yeah.
Right? And then they show you a shitty 1970s computer and they're like, see how it split? And I was like, you know what that sounds like to me? That sounds like a bunch of people who wanted to griff motherfuckers. And they're like, look at all my math. Let me take you to this empty room. I pocketed millions of dollars.
Wasn't that the European Collider?
Yeah.
That shit's
The Hadron-
wild.
Right. And those are the things. It's like,
But I love how the media has called it the God particle.
Yeah.
When, if you look at the original literature, it's that goddamn particle that they couldn't figure out.
yeah.
Because it was a base. Was it the basis of existence? Was
Well, that's the claim, but even then, that's faith-based. And that's the
He
problem.
won
I
a
have.
Nobel Prize over that shit.
Yeah. Well,
God particle.
Hitler won a Nobel Prize. I don't know what to tell you.
Did he?
Well,
I know he won
Again.
Times Man of the Year.
Listen, as I said previously, half the things I don't believe, and the other half I make up.
I'm not here to tell you to do anything illegal. I don't want you to do anything illegal. I don't want you doing anything you don't feel comfortable doing.
See, these people just make shit up.
That is a lot of reading for
I'm not doing
a
that.
podcast.
I
No.
don't care. I don't care. You just ripped us off of billions of dollars. That's what I know. And then nothing has come of it. Oh, you discovered it, and what did we do with it? Nothing.
I believe we've improved computing
Ooh.
because now that we get down to that small of level, because
Right.
transistors, when we got down to a part where we couldn't manufacture it anymore,
Mhm.
we're like, all right, we've come to a plateau in like computations.
Mhm.
Once we got into the microscopic level, like that's where AI tied in with what the fuck is it?
I'm excited about AI.
It was like some Star Trek shit. It's computations at like a microscopic level.
Yeah.
I forget what the fuck it was. But you're like, oh, okay, cool.
Mhm. Great. Now my computer will run just
Let
a
me
little
know when I can
faster.
stream porn on here.
Yeah, can I stream it faster? Is that what we're doing? Can I stream it and feel it? That's what I need to do.
I forget what it was, man. Yeah, it's that. The smaller you go into when you talk about like Heisenberg level shit, it's
Yeah.
actually helping with computers. But it is
Great.
difficult to be like, wow, that's a fucking 8-mile hoop in the
Yeah.
ground
Yeah.
in Europe.
Ooh,
How the fuck is that going to help me out? It
Right.
does.
it does. Slowly but surely.
Have faith in science.
No. That's the direct violence. There's your law of non-contradiction. Have faith in science. No.
Hey, all I'm saying is
It's a proven fact. Your dick will get hard.
With Higgs box. Was it with
Higgs boson. I think it
boson?
was?
You know what? Bozo. That's what it is.
Higgs boson.
Whatever.
It's just a blonde with big tits.
Whatever.
so.
Yeah. And now AI is taking all our jobs like a bunch of immigrants.
Hey, well, if we can get to the Star Trek level, like where money isn't a thing,
Mhm.
World hunger's not a thing, that'd be fantastic.
Yeah, I think we could potentially get there.
Just gotta get rid of religion and the rich.
No.
Yes, eat the
Can't-
rich.
Can't get one because all religions are belief systems, and you're not going to get rid of belief systems because people are dogmatic by nature. So that's why we have science
That's why
that
we
behaves
go to
like a
North
religion.
Korea.
Yeah, where everybody's happy and hungry. They said because if they don't, they'll get murdered. I'm sorry, unalived.
Fucking social media language. Oh my god.
Stupid social media.
Projects coming down the bell.
We Saturday. Look up. Well, probably this is going to
This
air.
is
on-
coming out Monday.
Okay, so listen here. On Monday, what you need to do is in celebration of Shark Week, we've released a EP called Shark Week, WEAK. And so Jason and the Krugers, Shark Week, look that up. Buy it because I've got shit to pay for. Because I owe the
We
bank
need
money.
money.
Yeah, we owe
Both
the
of
bank.
us.
Yeah, trust us. We have. But here's a saying I always loved that my mom told me, which is, "We're not poor, we're broke. Poor people don't have anything that others will take.
Jesus.
Broke people have things that that you can lose." And that's the difference. We got stuff we can't afford.
I might have to get a job after all this, brother.
I'll be back. Yeah, so look up Jason the Kruger's Shark Week. That EP's coming out. I am working on a new Excommunicated record that should be coming out with Jason McIntyre, Chad Kelly, Jeremy's going to be doing the symphonic compositions, and I believe we may have Mike Heller on drums, who is in Fear Factor. Fear
nice.
Factory, not Fear Factor.
I was gonna say he worked with Rogan.
No.
There's a trip down
He
memory
plays
lane.
killer blast beats and awesome double bass. He's a beast of a drummer. But
Nice.
so working on that, and then we have some other productions that I'm working on that I can't discuss yet. But yeah, keep an eye out. We've got all kinds of shit happening all the time.
Sweet.
Can I have a job, by the way, maybe someday?
I didn't say any of it pays.
Grow Up podcast on all the things. We got it.
Do we have the audios too?
I need to start pulling that because I think that might get our numbers.
I think
up a little
audios will help because you could we could publish those. We should.
bit.
Yeah. I'm bad about this. I'm new. I'm 40 episodes in. I'm Bryn.
40 episodes.
No, not that many, but a lot.
I was gonna say, it's
like
yeah.
20 or something. I don't remember.
Yeah, if you want to work with the podcast, if you want to be the person that switches these fucking buttons here, let me know. And if you want to cut up some shit for social media, because I'm tired of doing both.
Oh my God. You should never say it out loud. You shouldn't sound so downtrodden.
I'm not looking forward to taking the hour and 55 minutes we're going to have here.
Well, you're only supposed to go through like 30 seconds at a time.
That's what I'm saying, is we got to look over hour 55 to chop it into 30 seconds.
See, that's why we need Higgs boson, because he can get the AI to fix it for us.
We need somebody. So, it pays negotiable. So,
We start at 0. And then we go up. We multiply from there.
Okay, I'm willing to add to the overhead if you want to do $20 an episode to get that shit.
I want 20. I don't even get $20.
You're part of the production.
You get $5 an episode. We split the rest.
Shit.
Maybe you'll eat. Maybe we'll feed you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we'll get you some Panda.
Actually, I fed both of us a couple times.
I know. See, you too can eat Panda Express. Is that a little racist? I'm just curious.
Love my Panda Express.
I do too, but
Holy
it seems that a Chinese restaurant named Panda Express should be considered problematic.
Yo, it is crazy how people work in that shit too.
Yeah.
Any time of day you go in, there's like 12 people working that fucking thing.
Yeah.
You're like,
because they work for China.
don't go to a Sonic though.
Oh, I used to love Sonic.
I may or may not be delivering food on the side now.
Oh.
Every time I've been burnt by a company taking too goddamn long, it's been Sonic.
Yeah.
You're like, dude, I've been sitting in this goddamn parking lot for 30 fucking minutes now.
Oh, that's way too long for fast food.
Yeah.
No, that's when you leave. Oh, but you already paid. That's how they get you.
Well, no, I needed the money
Oh.
because that person was offering like $7.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Allegedly. I'm not delivering food.
Allegedly.
Yeah. So, alrighty. Well, love you, cunts. I don't know.
All right, no, cunts.
No, cunts, love you. So next time you're feeling you've got no fucking self-worth, maybe you need to change your location, cunts.
Bye.
Bye.